R&B Money. We up. Tank. jvalentine. We are the authorities on all things R&B.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Tank.
I'm jvalentine.
And this is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority on all things R&B.
How you feel today?
Yes!
Okay. All right.
Yes!
All right.
Because we have a man in the building, a prolific human being, well-studied, well-versed, successful, as well as gifted. He's a monster, and he getting to the money. Ladies and gentlemen, an R&B producer, hip-hop producer, what else?
Dance hall
producer,
Afrobeat
producer, a super producer and songwriter. I think he got vocals too. In the building, Harmony H Money Samuel.
What's going on?
H Money.
Listen.
H Money.
Hey, you actually sound like the drop.
I think he sampled me. I got to talk to him about this. Remember how
the publishing
people fall out about this kind of stuff. First of all, I don't like you. Let's start there. We're going to start right there. I remember the first time I heard about you. I heard these two Chris Brown songs. I said, who the fuck did that? Who did that? And why did he do that? Why did he do all of that? Could have left some of that shit out. Could have left some room for other people to produce more songs on the album.
Yeah.
Your songs clearly, by far, stood out on that album as something completely different and something we hadn't heard before.
Yeah.
I was upset. Because I only get upset when it's some shit I wish I could have done. I wish I would have done. I listened to it and it was so much information. I said, fuck it, I just gotta find him. I can't do it. There's no way I'm able to do it. I gotta find him.
That's crazy.
You are super, super duper
Appreciate that, bro.
gifted. You know what I'm saying? And this is a flowers. Sure. This is a flowers pod. This is a flowers space.
Yeah, man.
So I had to get the hate out my heart first.
Well, remember when I first met you, I had the same kind of expression.
Oh yeah, you did.
For a different reason, though. So prior to my success with Chris Brown, he was standing outside. I'd been in LA maybe like a month, and he was standing outside the Roxy. He had just tore the Roxy down, and he was just standing outside. And I'm standing out there
after he does his show.
Yeah. So I'm looking at. I'm like, why is Tank just standing out here? Like, yeah. So I'm like, yo, bro. He's like, oh, what's up, man? You good? And I was like, I don't like you.
So it was the same kind of introduction.
Same.
Okay, all right.
So and he was like, what? I said, not in a bad way, but in a bad way. Sex, love, and pain too messed up my relationship. And he's like, what you mean? He said, my ex-girlfriend said she used to feel uncomfortable when I would play that album in the house. I said, my nigga, you been fucking my girl this whole time.
I'm
Music
sorry.
could do that.
No, I'm sorry.
And I was like, I can't play that album no more.
Yeah.
I would play it every once in a while when I needed to try and get freaky.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't like him for that because it was like every time I would play it,
I was too down.
Yeah,
I was like right beside you. Like,
yeah, you was right
but
there.
I was cheering you on. Get in there, Harmony. You get in there. Man. You work that. You change positions now. This is a good time. It's in between songs. Yeah, get it. I'm like the porn star announcer. That's what my music does.
The porn star announcer. Do they have one of those?
No, they don't. But that's what my music does.
Oh, this nigga gonna want to be a porn star.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. Your records are the records that I go to anyway. Personally, not just you, my homie, but
it's about pregnancy. My music is about skin on skin relations.
Facts.
You understand what I'm saying? If you are putting anything between you and that other body, you are disrespecting the music. Completely just skin on skin. Whatever, roll the dice when my music come on. Okay?
This podcast is not brought to you by whatever condom brand you want to add.
What are those?
No. Listen, condom brands. I'll promote you, okay? I don't know about this guy.
I will not. You will not suffocate me.
What?
People gotta breathe. He should be breathing.
Man,
it's an honor to be here, man.
Thank you. Harmony's here.
Harmony! H Money!
No, listen, it's an honor and a blessing. I've known you both
A long time.
A decade.
Long time,
plus.
yeah.
Easy, yeah.
Easy,
And
for sure.
I would say some of the most influential mentoring. You both mentored me in different ways. We used to share studio
Yep.
grounds.
Space.
We would
Right
be at
next to
each
each
other's
other.
room
Yep.
all the time.
Yep.
I think certain relationships are for a season, and in certain relationships they last forever. Whether we talk every day or we don't talk at all.
Yeah.
Pick up where we left off.
It's like we never left.
Yep.
And you know, I've learned so much from both your careers and your relationship. Because that's another thing. Y'all been tight friends, brothers,
Yeah.
business partners. It's hard to find people who can stick together through it all. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's been a big influence on me, man. On both of y'all. He made a play in my life that to this day I was able to sell 1 million records independently because
That's
this man
incredible.
made a phone call.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which was Major's Why I Love You. And I'll always appreciate you for that.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Major.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Shout
what
out,
up, Major?
Shout out to 1 million.
Shout out to
Of
a million.
anything.
Of anything.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
Especially with R&B.
Listen, R&B and a person no one knew.
For
Absolutely.
you to have a platinum record with a new artist in R&B music,
Amazing.
amazing,
Bruh.
amazing. But
You made that call. He came to the studio.
That record was the first listen.
Yeah.
That record was the first listen. I couldn't leave the studio without being some part of something. You know what I mean?
You knew.
Like,
and I
yeah,
remember
no,
he asked.
absolutely.
He said, what you want me to do? He's like, how can I help you? I said, I've been to every record executive. They don't want it. They don't want him.
Don't hear it.
They don't hear it. They love the record,
hear
just
it
they
and
want
couldn't see it.
him. You know what I mean? And I was like, there's this guy called Ghazi. He was like, man, that's my boy.
Hold my
Yeah.
beer. He don't even drink beer. Hold my beer.
Called him for
Oh, my juice.
Hold my juice.
Oh, my juice.
Shout out to Juice. Shout out to Juice Brand.
Shouting out to everybody.
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, mine. Yes. Shout out. Hey, today is promo day.
Shout out- shout out.
I got
promoting everything today.
I have a juice bar, man. It's called Urban Juice. Yeah.
Shout out to Urban Juice.
Yeah.
Congratulations, brother.
I
Thank
had,
you, man.
there's a juice called the Valentine.
Yeah, it's the one. It is the one.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to get you,
I guess
nice little
everybody's
juice.
just
So back to Hold My Juice.
Yeah,
Hold my
back to
juice.
Hold My
He
Juice.
really,
He
got
really
his-
did
When
say
I say
he
the
can
boy
say-
got his own juice.
he got his own juice.
Hold on, man. You know, the flowers was gonna give you flowers. Gonna keep giving you flowers. I heard there were gifts for us. You know what I'm saying? I heard there were flowers of
Listen,
some form of a flower
Yeah.
Yeah.
for us that you.
I think it's disrespectful to come into the homes of people I look up to without gifts. And so, just like you got your own juice bar, you know, God bless me to, you know, invest in some things. And now we own a tequila called Vuelo. I bought Vuelo, Vuelo. I partnered up with them about 3 years ago. Been working on this brand for a few years. And now we killing it. We killing it. We just won one of the biggest competitions in California.
Nice.
And I brought Reposado Anna and Yeho for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the Yeho.
Okay.
No,
Check out the brand. I won't give
switch.
you.
Just switch that.
Why should we
Give me-
switch?
give me
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Why
yeah.
should we switch?
Yeah, you give it.
Because one is light skinned and one is.
I don't want to say it on the camera.
I'm gonna give him the dark skin one.
You-
He's not dark
I
skinned,
am
bro.
more Herman's complexion than you. Give it up. Let me just look at it.
Yo, I got you. So thank you guys for having me on this.
The
You know what I'm
amber on
saying?
it.
Go
Crazy.
guys, go
It's
check out the
heavy,
Velo
too.
brand.
Amber
I don't
on
know.
this.
Does that help?
That's a real. That's
That's a glass- that means it's a real glass.
That's
You know
real.
what I mean?
I'm
I
gonna-
mean,
you
ain't
know
these
what?
phony tequilas.
Yeah.
It's a real tequila.
We're gonna crack.
Yo,
Yeah,
crack that over.
listen.
Crack that one.
what we're gonna do.
Crack the black one.
Tank is the connoisseur, so I'm
Yeah, he gonna know.
whatever
he
he
gonna tell me.
on. I'm rolling with y'all.
gonna tell me right
I'm
now.
rolling with y'all.
What we drinking?
Yeah. No,
know what I'm
but
saying?
That's what we drinking
But
today.
back to our homie, man. Back to Major.
Yeah.
Back to Major, and you believing
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In his project and believing in him as an artist
Yeah.
and fighting for him.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
that's,
that just doesn't happen all the time in this industry where, you know, we get to a point, right, where we all have to deal with a lot of no's.
Yes, sir.
But then we get to a level in this game where it's more yes than no.
Yeah.
This guy's crazy. Where it's more yes than no. So once you get to that level, a lot of executives and producers walk away from things that they get told no on.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be associated with the no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
You
sir.
want to be that guy that can walk anything through.
Yes, sir.
That anybody, whatever you bring through, they rolling with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, what was the motivation to keep you going with an artist that you were being told no about?
Firstly, I'm a builder.
Okay.
Like, as a creative, everything I own, I've built. You know what I mean? I built my studio. I build beats.
You did that.
I build records.
You
Yeah.
did that.
And because I'm a builder, that means I have to find things that need building. Right? I have to find artists that need help being built.
You know your DMs is about to go crazy.
Build me
Build me up, Lord.
missing pieces.
And so that's always been my thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, your company.
BOE.
Are you
Build
drinking?
on our empire.
Are you drinking with
for
us?
sure, baby.
There's a cup for you.
Come on.
for you.
Let me get on this. With Major, back to Major. When I met him,
All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Look. Got some on it. Yeah. Hey, alien.
hey, alien.
Yeah.
Hey, alien. Give it to me.
Come on, connoisseur.
Give it to me,
Come
baby.
on, connoisseur.
Come on.
What
It's
you
R&B,
say?
baby. Look what you talking about. It's R&B. It's what we do. I got extra one for you in the car. I got you. I got an extra
Wee.
one in the car for you. I
Yeah.
got you.
Ooh.
That's
Hold on.
not,
One more.
And it's vuelo.
Vuelo.
Look at me learning Spanish.
That's not even the big one. There's
Whatever,
there's
as
a
Mexican
big
as I
boy.
look.
The extra in your hoe.
My brother.
Yes, sir.
My brother.
Yes, sir.
This is exceptional
Thank
tequila.
you. We appreciate it. Shout out
This-
to my boy Brevin. He's the brains behind
Come
it.
on, Brevin.
This is
Reverend-
exceptional
Yes, sir.
tequila.
Yes, sir.
This stands in line. This sits at the table with the tequilas
With them ones.
that I drink.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
And listen, it's not a big table.
I don't know shit about tequila, but
It's
I'm
a-
drinking. It tastes good to me.
It's a small table
It's not that big.
of only 3 tequilas.
Not that big.
Yours is number 3.
It's up there, bro. It's up there. That's a big statement.
Yours is up there with a $500 tequila
Yes, sir.
that only sits about this big.
Yes, sir. I know exactly the one you saw.
Yeah, we're not shouting. I don't know those
I
niggas.
don't know those people.
I'm not shouting. I
gonna
ain't
shout
shouting.
out Brello.
Yeah.
Let's get it, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Cheers, my brother.
Y'all got endorsement money? Like, what are we doing?
Listen.
You need brand ambassadors?
Of course we do. That's why I brought the bottle over so we can have that conversation after the podcast.
I like it.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
I like it. Back to the music.
By the way,
to the music.
Major, one of the things about so me and Tank, we all three of us come from the church background, so we understand how.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
you give me church vibes.
It's a different kind of church. It's tabernacle.
That's right.
It's not church.
I don't even know what that means, but
Yeah.
He give me God vibes.
It's the street.
I believe in God. Yeah.
It's
He give me God
I believe
vibes.
in God.
Either way, there's a thing that works with God, faith, and what you believe in, right? When you're working. And so when I met Major, I had no desire to sign him as an artist because I was playing at one church. I was the music director there, and Major was on the worship team, but he would sing his butt off, and things
Major's
like
incredible.
like he
Major's
would
incredible.
sing, and I would just see people like emotional, and I was just like, I remember one day playing the piano, thinking this can't be where it ends for him on a church stage. There's more to this.
Got to be more to it.
And God was like, "Yeah, you gonna help him get there." And I was like, I that wasn't me requesting. I was just saying, like, I see the
I was
vision.
just letting you know.
I was just
I
letting
know
you know
but
that
I
I
was
heard
letting you know that I see it. Yeah.
Right. And so, and then God was like, "Nah, it's on you." And so He put me on that path, and then we started working together, and we got no's from everybody. I mean, it was like there was people who played games with us. There's people who was like, "We'll take the songs," but it was just always something. And the worst part was I was succeeding as a music producer. So I was doing Ariana Grande. I'm working with Chris
Hold on,
Brown.
don't say that yet. Don't say that yet.
Yeah.
Okay, I was working with a lot of people. And so it was weird for me that I couldn't, cross him into that space. And then I realized like we had a problem. The problem was we needed a song that would identify him because he was new. And the one powerful thing that Major has, as we all know, is his voice.
Absolutely.
So I was like, we gotta find. And a year prior to that, John Legend had just gone #1 with All of Me.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, we gotta do something like this that highlights your voice.
That's it.
And nothing else, right?
Because you think he's sexy.
Huh?
Because you think he's sexy.
Sometimes.
You know,
He be doing that.
and
He be giving the R&B eyes.
He be trying to highlight his sexy, like he's shirt open with his fajita meat showing. I'm like, my brother.
Fajita meat.
The fajita meat.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
It's beyond taco.
Listen.
Okay.
Paul.
When he started getting R&B money,
Yeah.
the fajita came out.
Oh, no. He unbuttoned that extra button. Okay, now we can almost see your
his
belly,
shirts
brother.
definitely got more expensive.
We can almost see your belly, brother.
He started
It's a
getting
nice
made.
shirt, though. It's a really
Start
nice
getting
shirt.
them
It started getting made.
Yeah, tailored.
I was like, where you get that from? Man, I got that made. I said,
Custom,
God damn.
yeah.
Custom.
You got the
Yeah,
shirt.
start
I
talking that
ain't
custom
custom
talk.
make my shirt. God damn. All right,
Hey,
bro.
Major, you can send me a custom shirt, man. I helped. Send me a custom shirt, brother.
You should get a custom
I
shirt.
should.
And
Give
a
me a
plaque.
custom shirt.
Custom shirt.
I got
and
a plaque.
You got the plaque.
I got a plaque.
No, he's got to get a new one.
I got a plaque. They got to give me. I got the gold plaque.
He got to get the platinum plaque now.
All right, so let's do this. And I think that the major story, along with the building of your empire, is going to play a big part in this conversation. But I really want to go all the way back to the beginning.
Okay.
Right? I hate your accent, but I just want his accent. You know what I'm saying? You know what I could do with that accent right there?
Idris do nothing but audition for Top
Idris
Boy.
Elba wouldn't have a chance in the world
If you had a British accent, yeah, it's that.
I think
I'm scared of you.
I think.
Oh,
Idris-
my
I think
goodness.
Idris will be
You too
fine.
confident
You
now.
know,
so I'm
right
scared.
now, like, so if I could just
Oh
get
my
a little
God.
bit, just nail it, just a little bit.
I don't think you would even live in LA.
You don't think I would?
Nah,
No.
You would. I don't know where you would live.
Honestly, I would probably live in like.
Did you say think with an F?
Yeah, that's how you say it.
'Cause we say
in
think.
British, yeah. He tired of me already. We just started.
Oh my God.
Harmony, H Money, Samuels. We like to go back to the beginning.
Yes, sir.
Like where it started. What was the moment?
We also like to snack and shit.
Yeah, you can eat snacks.
Snack
Just don't
away,
eat them on
bro.
the mic. Ruben hates that. All right. We want to go back to the beginning to
Yeah.
where you said to yourself, "Oh shit, I got something,"
Yeah,
or somebody said to you,
I got some.
"Boy, you got something."
It's a
When did
few-
that start?
There's a few moments, but born and raised in London by Nigerian parents who were strict as shit. I mean, they were so strict, bro. Like, I had bag checks in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
And like when I was leaving to go to school,
You
they
got
would
your
check
books. You
my bag.
got everything. That,
What's
yeah.
in here?
What's in your bag? And if there was anything outside of what was supposed to be in there, it's my ass. Like, my dad was a disciplinarian, man. He was a strong dude, and my mama didn't play neither. So when they found out I had a musical gift, they freaked out immediately because they was like, "Oh, hell no, no. You're not doing that. You go into school, because we immigrants and we ain't got a pot to piss in. You finna figure this out." And they were on me, and I'm the oldest of four, and so as I got to, y'all call it high school, we call it secondary school, I'm like 13 years old. I'm playing 4 or 5 instruments at this point. So I'm playing piano, drums, bass, keys,
So are the instruments at your
guitar.
house?
No, it's at church. It's
Okay.
the only place I could touch them. So I had to learn. Now, my parents were broke, trying to figure out. My dad had 2-3 jobs. My mother was looking after the kids at home because there's, just 3 of us. And at the time, the only time they would allow me near the instrument is in church. Now, mind you, my school teacher was like, "Yo, your son is gifted. They
don't care about none of that."
He was singing. I would sing harmonies. They were like, "How do you know how to do this?" And I mean, I'm not even 5, 6 at this point. I'm playing drums on the table, and then I'm even playing drums in church. My parents just woke up one morning. We go to church, and then there's no drummer at the drums. So it's kind of weird because like there's a whole band playing but no drums, and then they just see me go on the drums and start playing along. I became a drummer, and that's how I started playing. And so I have this thing about learning by sight. And by 13 years old, I'm going to secondary school, and I can play 5 instruments. And my music teacher's like, "How you know how to do that?" Like, and I was like, I don't know. It's just a gift I can hear and see. I hear it and I see it. or wherever it is. If I see you playing an instrument, I'm learning how you play an instrument.
Downloading.
You know what I'm saying? I'm downloading
Absolutely.
everything.
Yeah.
And once I get my hand on it, I'm gonna figure it out. And once I figured out the number system, it was curtains for everybody. You know that.
Yeah.
So 13 years old, it's my first year in secondary school or high school, and I walk into my music class and I'm excited because it's like, yes, what's my music teacher gonna have me do? So she has this computer, and it was called the Notator. You remember that?
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Now it's actually called Logic now. But in the 90s it was called Notator. I'd never seen it before. It was a Notator, and they had floppy disks, and she had she had a Casio keyboard in front of it. And she started programming, she showed me how you you can compose your own songs and compose your own music. And she started playing each instrument, recording it as we do. I stood there, because I had never seen it before. I stood there in amazement for at least 30 minutes. I said, Miss Ryan, how the hell did you do that? She said, you select the track you want, you press record, you play the instrument. I said, so I can be my own band? She said, yeah. I said, nigga.
I'm sure you didn't say that to her, but
No, in my head, though, I
probably would have.
because I would have gone.
He'd have said it out loud.
I'd have definitely called Miss Ryan in here, and I'm sure. Yeah, you know what?
He'd been suspended.
Yeah, I got
Next school.
suspended.
Bro, it was like a crackhead with a bag of coke.
Yeah.
I lost my friggin' mind. I said, okay. It went from me being there every lunchtime to being there every lunchtime and after school. Then she started giving me the key. I was in that room for 2 years straight. So I've gone from year to year. And she came in one day and it was like 8 in the morning. She was like, why are you here so early? I said, I just had to get this idea out. She said, you've been here a lot. Play me something. And I played her one of my ideas. She looked at me. She said, you made this? I said, uh-huh. And I played another one. She's like, you made this? She said, Harmony, you need to really go to school for this. She said, you may have the ability to be a great composer or producer. I was like, who's that? And what is that?
Who's that?
Because I'm like a composer.
So are your parents on board at this point now?
My parents were never on board until I broke.
So
my parents
what did they
never,
think you were at this point, though?
At this point, they just think I'm going to school.
They don't know you.
They don't know what I'm doing in
notate.
school.
Yeah.
And because I had my teacher as a ally, she would always vouch for me.
Yeah, he's here. He's here.
He's
doing
here.
the right
He's
thing.
right. You know what I'm saying?
Because you were actually at school.
So that's all I needed, bruh. She said, "Go look up what a producer was." The first person I looked up was Quincy Jones.
I mean,
Starts there.
And like I'm off to a flame, man. It became my mission. And in my brain, I lied to every person because I didn't want them to know that was what I was going to become, a music producer. And bro, I made track after track. And then I was like, I can put melody and lyrics. So I was just like, oh, I'm doing 100%ers.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm 20 years old, and I'm like, I finally, someone out the blue in my church. And, I always tell people,
Right,
like,
you just went from 13 to 20. Nigga.
yeah, because
Hold on.
from
Time out.
13 to 20.
it's like the story of Jesus.
like,
he just showed up healing people. Like, where you come from?
From 13 to 20, all I could do was create.
Yeah.
Because what people don't understand about London is one of the most creative places in the world. One of the only places where I see genres being made over and over again. Do you know what I mean? Like, like in my face, like, oh, this is a new genre. This is a new genre.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Afrobeat's a new genre that we're all, you know what I mean? So for me, but it's a trap too. It was we was very trapped because there was no outlets for us.
Gotcha.
Like,
Yeah.
one thing you have in America is Black Americans have fought to have a voice. In the UK, we fought, but we didn't have that voice. No matter how much we tried to get one, they would shut it down. It was very systematic because it was a lot smaller too. Mm-hmm. And so think about how many R&B acts we had those times. How many R&B superstars we had.
I just know Craig David.
We didn't have that many.
Right.
It was very limited. And that's because we didn't have an outlet. And whenever we
Mark
had...
Morrison, don't let me dis... You
Mark
know
Morrison,
what? You know
but
what?
How dare you?
Turn of the
But-
Mac,
Of the
nigga.
Mac.
But you know the craziest part? Not even British people didn't know he was American. Oh, he was British
Who, Mark
for the
Morrison?
longest, because he sounded so American
To y'all. To us, we was like,
I didn't know what he
somewhere
sounded
else.
like. I didn't
Like
know
we,
what that
we
was.
just
I
we
knew
just
he was
knew
from
that
somewhere
he
else.
was. We just knew that this isn't regular British records.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You understand what I mean? And you know, I worked with even Uncle Mark, Marky B, you know, Soul to Soul. Like I've been around all of them, and we were influenced by American music heavily, but we didn't have an outlet. We didn't have an out. So all I could do was create and hold these feelings inside. And I was like, one day I'm gonna crack this code. I'm gonna figure it out, how to balance between being from here and affecting the States. Because cracking America was the most important thing for any British artist, if you were black. Cracking America, from Craig David all the way down to Sade, Maxi Priest, these were all British guys.
Yeah,
Priest.
yeah.
You understand what I mean? Like, cracking America was important. If you cracked America,
I feel like you keep saying crackhead America, but
cracking America.
I come from
Breaking
I come
America.
from crackhead America, so
You say
yeah, I
crackhead.
get it. It's fine.
And so all I could do for the longest, and then I interned for years, you know what I mean, at studios, cleaning floors, laying on the floor.
In the UK?
In the UK.
Okay.
And I would watch, you know, Celine Dion's producer, Chris Neal, Marky B, so many different producers that I was like in the background, Nelly Hooper, Gwen Stefani, and I would just be watching them and trying to get as much information because I learned by sight. So one day they would like, hey, you play piano, right? And I'd play a little something. Hey, you play bass, right? Or I sing something. So I was, you know what I mean? So I started kind of getting my foot in that way. And then a young guy in the church, you know, he's a little money man, you know, little hustler in the hood, was like, yo, you really be doing this music thing, huh? He's like, oh, you know, I got some bread, like, what you need? I was like, a studio. And he gave me my first studio. It was 3 times smaller than this room. But that was the day I became a monster, because now I had my own outfit. Like, I could do anything. I helped him build his career. Shout out to my man, Steven. I helped him build his little business company he was building, supplying the hood some beats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Supplying the hood beats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Shout
you know,
out to Steven, the top boy.
Yeah.
He had to
boy
pee.
Steven touch.
Steven had to pee.
Yo, he hustled and made sure we kept the studio open for like 5 years.
Wow.
I never had to pay for it.
That's dope.
And you know, I always respect him for him, because that's when I learned how to become a real producer. I learned to sing, record, vocal produce, and I was watching y'all. That's what you don't understand. I had all y'all CDs in my room, in my studio room, and we'd play Sex, Love, and Pain, or we'll play Maybe I Deserve, or we'll play Rodney Jack. A lot of Rodney Jack.
Yeah, a lot
of Dark Child was played in my studio.
I heard that.
A
Definitely
lot
that.
of Timbaland. Shout out to Rodney, because he Dark Child gave me my opportunity to. A lot of Timbaland, a lot of. I was studying. I mean, bro. And then one day, I just said, I gotta get out of here, because I tried, man. I was broke. You know what I mean? My girl was leaving. You know what I'm saying?
Who's leaving you?
Yeah. My girl was leaving me at the time.
She's
I
like,
couldn't
I'm out.
pay rent.
You
You,
ain't
know
no
what I'm saying?
producer.
And she actually really believed in me. She just knew that I wasn't gonna work here. You know what I mean? Bro, the most I got paid in 8 years of making music was like $3,000.
What?
In 8 years.
In 8 years, because it was such a hard hustle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so by the time I got to like my mid-20s, there's this young kid in the UK that was blowing up, and music had changed again. There was like this new genre called grime,
Yeah.
because it had gone from garage, you know what I mean? We call it garage. And it went from garage, which was like this upbeat.
We don't call them either. We call it garage.
You say garage. We call it
Yeah,
garage.
you said 2 different names that we
Neither
don't call
one
them
of us
either.
could relate to. The shit is in the garage.
Shit's in the garage. So we called it garage. It changed, and you know, it became grime. And there's a whole history that, you know, I think the UK grime scene and R&B scene and just the music scene has to explain for the world to get. But this kid called Chip, we called him Chipmunk back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's how I met you.
from the hood,
That's how I met you.
Yeah.
we in the hood, same studio. I end up working with him, and he's like, yo, man, I need you to do my album. And he just cracked the case in the UK. He was like he was like 16 years old.
Yeah.
He's like, I need you to work on my album. because he wanted to transition from the UK sound to a global sound. He wanted to penetrate America. I said, I'm your guy.
I'm your guy.
So we started working. I was transitioning to LA because I was taking these interesting trips. I was like getting on a plane and just coming to New York. And New York was popping at the time when it came to like industry stuff. And Craig Kalman heard my music and was like, can you fly to LA? I was like, yeah. He said, fly to LA tomorrow. I want you to meet another executive of mine. If he likes you, then we money. So I said, cool. So I fly to LA. I go to see that executive, and that executive he was like, get out my like it was like, why you here? And I was like, damn nigga, I just flew 6 hours.
Wait, so the executive he wants you to meet with wasn't fucking with you? Wasn't fucking with your music, nothing?
Bro, wasn't listen, firstly, we're in the studio and you listen to my beats on headphones. That's disrespect one.
I know who this guy is. I just, even though you've never told me, I already know who the guy is.
You listen
you
to
can
my
say it
beat.
if you want to. This is the R&B Money Podcast. All right,
listen,
cool.
But
well,
you
fuck
listen to
you,
my
okay? It's Harmz.
You listen to my beats on headphones in a music studio. That was like, oh my God. And then secondly, I flew 6 hours to meet with you for 6 minutes.
6 minutes?
And say, yeah, give me these beats and I'll talk to you. You know, we'll call you or email you. And I was like, what am I supposed to do for the next 48 hours?
That is the music business.
And so I'm standing outside the studio like in tears because I'm like, firstly, I was in New York and it was like October. So it was cold as boot.
It's cold.
And now I'm in LA in winter clothes.
With the same outfit on.
In 110-degree weather. I'm confused, bro.
It's hot.
I'm crying and I'm sweating.
I'm sweating, my nigga.
It's so hot.
And I'm broke because I'm trying to figure this out. So,
and I'm sure you want to choke that white
bro,
man.
I wanted to say everything under the sun.
Yeah.
About his nostrils, but
about his nostrils.
But you know, I thank God for grace. And you know, the guy that had, you know, been around me at the time was my he ended up managing me after this whole situation. He was like, yo, I met with this guy and he keeps asking about you. And I was like, what's his name? He said, RJ. He said, we should meet him. He's like a big time producer. I said, fuck that. I ain't coming all the way to LA to meet no punk ass RJ. You didn't see this?
So punk ass RJ.
Like, I said, you didn't see, like.
He's mad at everybody.
Like, I'm mad,
Yeah,
bro.
he's
Like,
mad.
you can't see this nigga just disrespect me. You didn't even say nothing.
Right.
And
You ain't even say
you didn't say nothing. Like, I'm like, and you gonna say, I'm standing around two white people.
He let
He
Debo-
white,
let Debo
and the
take
dude,
his
you
chain.
know what I'm saying?
No, baby D.
Baby D.
Y'all seen her jumping on me? Girl,
They don't do nothing. Just let that white man jump on me.
Oh my God.
So I was hurt. And so so he kept saying, he was like, no, I really think we should go see him. And I was like, man, what's this nigga's name? He said, Rodney Jerkins.
That's who RJ was.
I said,
I'm sorry.
I said, Dark Child Rodney Jerkins? He's like, that's him. I said, nigga, do you know who that is?
Right.
You should have led with this motherfucker. Don't say no
I
RJ.
said- he was like, I said, you think he's what? Bro, where he at? Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as I walked in, and they were doing Puff at the TV show, Making a Star. It was Making a Star. It was like American Idol, but there was like and Rodney was a judge on it.
Okay.
So I'd gone over to that show, and Rodney walked out, and he called me. He immediately, he was like, Harmz. I was like, okay, you gonna change my name to Harmz? I'll take it. He's like, yeah, your beat caused harm. It's causing harm. And I was like, where you hear my beats? He said, yo, so hear the joke. While this dude is disrespecting me in the studio, he was at Jimmy's office, and my beats, I don't know how my tape got in there, was being played.
Tell them who Jimmy is, because they don't, you know.
Oh,
people might not
Sir
know.
Jimmy Ivy.
Yeah.
So while he's having a meeting with Jimmy, he said he could hear my beats in the room next door. And he said he was knocking so hard, he was like, he's like, Jimmy, I'm just go to the bathroom, give me a second. And so he's going to the bathroom, he walks in the room, he's like, yo, whoever this little nigga is, find him and bring him to me.
Wow.
So that's how Matt got the email saying, yo, Ronnie's looking for y'all. He wants to meet with y'all. And so as soon as I met him, he was like, yeah, my name's Harmony. He was like, Harmz, I'm gonna call you Harmz from now on. And he said, you when you leaving? I said, tomorrow. He's like, no, you're not. You cancel that flight. Come see me tomorrow. And the rest is history, man. He basically was like, yeah.
He took you under his wing.
Yeah. He opened that door and was like, yeah, you with me. And it's probably the biggest life-changing experience I've ever had in my life. Mind you, the next day I go to see him, he's working on The Devil Wears Prada.
Of course he is.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm just like,
Of course he is. It's Rodney Jerkin.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, you know what? Toast to Rodney Jerkin.
Why not?
toast to the
And
king.
for giving you an opportunity.
Listen, I'm a stranger from nowhere.
When that other man would
When the
take his
other man-
headphones off.
Listen, I did. So here the thing about, that's why, full circle, a few years goes by, I break an artist, a new artist that no one ever heard of, and Craig actually calls me back into the studio and says, yo, come, I want to meet you. I was like, Craig, you met me before. He said, I did? I was like, yeah, about 6 years ago, you flew me to LA to meet with the other dude. And he's like, I did. I remember
That's
you.
great. That's
Wow,
definitely
look.
great.
He said, whatever happened with that? Dude walk in. and Craig was like, you don't remember Harmony? He's the guy that I sent to you 6 years ago. Look what happened. And I was just like,
We love that moment.
Love that.
We love that moment.
And it was one of them ones where it's just like, okay, I thank you. I'm glad that I didn't have to be a nigga that day. God got my back.
Absolutely.
What are your parents saying
Now?
as you're saying?
No, not now. Even
No,
just,
not now. As you're saying, RJ, punk ass RJ,
Punk ass RJ.
RJ says, first of all, I need to stay a few more days. Secondly, I'm going to LA.
So this is gonna get a little spiritual at this point. So there was things that I learned about making your moves in silence. So they didn't know a lot of my moves. They didn't, I hadn't seen my dad in probably 5 years.
because at this point you're a grown man.
Well, I'm definitely a grown man. But me and my dad really had problems.
Okay.
When I was younger, he was physical. You know what I'm saying? And so I had a lot of anger issues towards him. And so he just wanted me to be the best. Now I understand.
Yeah.
The nigga, when you realize, damn, Pop, you was under some different stress. But as a young man, I was
don't
just
get
getting
it.
my ass whooped.
You don't get it.
And it was
You
just,
don't get it.
it was too much. I mean, I was going home to school with black eyes and what happened to your eye? Oh, I fell over playing soccer or whatever. And I grew up with a resentment. So to prove my point, that became my driving force. I was like, I'm going to show you, Pop, who the fuck I really am. And so that thing you used to see in my eye,
Yeah.
where it was just monstrous, it was him. Because every time he told me no, I would it just became like a battering ram in my hand. I was just so I disappeared. I didn't tell them. And what I realized was I had to tell her, I had to keep it a secret, because if I told them what I was trying to do, they would emotionally get in my head
Gotcha.
and kind of pull me away
Yeah.
from the opportunity that was in front of me. Yes, I didn't know what was going to happen. And it was like, you're going 12 hours away
Right.
on a plane to a land that nobody knows. Yet on TV, the story is cocaine, drugs, rock star life.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Jackson got killed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
England had, in London, there was a perception of what Los Angeles was. In London, at one time, you say Los Angeles, they called it Babylon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was the perception. And I was like, so I can't tell nobody. I literally moved to LA and lived in LA for a year before I told them.
Wow.
That's wow.
I lived in LA and I made sure that I popped off. So when I called him, I was like, your son done made it.
Yeah.
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 So when they came over, they was like, nigga, you made it.
So what's the your son that made it moment? What is that? What milestone had you reached that you felt like this is enough to let them know that I'm good? This is my career.
There's
What-
a couple, but the one that really did was when I paid their house off. when I was like, "You ain't got to
What
pay."
got that?
A lot of Ariana Grande.
Talk about it.
That was the life-changing experience of my career. I went from he's a dope producer, he's a great producer to super producer after I did that.
And what songs were those? If you
Ariana Grande, The Way featuring Mac Miller.
talk about it.
Great record. Great record.
Right There, Big Sean.
And how long has you been out here before you get that?
3 years.
3 years.
So I moved here officially 2010, January 2010, and 2011 I was cutting those records on that. In 2012 it blew up.
My God.
Yeah.
And
the
is
crazy
that before Chris Brown or that's after?
No. So Chris, first I'm gonna shout out my bro,
Yeah.
Chris Brown, because when I say outside of Tank and y'all, he's probably the most authentic individual I've ever met in the music business.
Yeah.
This man didn't know me from a can of paint. He just heard a record that I had produced for Jawan Harris, and he was in the video, and he kept saying, "Yo, who the hell made this
did the
record?"
record? Yeah.
And they go, "This kid Harmony," and he walked up to me, didn't know me from a can of paint. He was like, "You made this record, bro?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, we gotta work." I'm scratching my head like, "Nigga, you Chris Brown." And not only did he say we gotta work, he made sure we worked.
Yeah.
And those records changed my life. Say It With Me and All My Love. Those same records that you heard.
Yeah.
And even that session,
And what year is that?
2010, bro.
That's 10.
I just
Okay.
moved there. So it's like ending of 2010. So January 2010,
Yeah, yeah.
ending of 2010.
Yeah, okay.
So I've been in 9 months. I'm in the room with Chris Brown. And so the reason why it sounded so crazy, couple of things. The fact that I was about to prove to my dad I made it. That anger was all over there. So
there was a lot of anger.
This boom, 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 boom. Like that was,
You
there
were
was a
angry.
lot of rage.
Yeah, yeah.
But Chris also confused me because he walked in. Firstly, you know what it is with Chris Brown in the studio. He gonna play 90 records.
190. We want you to
Okay.
add
Yeah,
100
you know,
to
it's
that.
more now. Yeah,
It's way more. Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I mean, Chris was playing records from his childhood.
yeah. But they really were from last week because
Great
that's just how
songs.
much he worked. That's just how much he
20
worked.
songs a night.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I'm in the movie with Chris. He's played like 100 songs. We'd been there like 8
Have you
hours.
placed anything before?
No.
Like a major. You
one?
had.
I had one placement, Maroon 5. No curtain call.
That's a
Why would you?
Maroon 5. Yeah,
That was the first
Yeah,
one.
Okay, that was your first placement.
Yeah.
but-
And I'm gonna be honest with you. So I
You
used
want
to
to know a fun fact?
What?
There's a guy in that group named James Valentine. Shout out to James Valentine.
What up,
Shout out to
James?
James Valentine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Some relation. Some
relation.
relation.
no
to
relation.
them.
No relation. No relation. But our names are very similar. It's pretty cool.
No curtain call. So I was actually one of the first producers to actually work with Maroon, because basically Maroon 5 was like a real band.
Yes.
So they only had like one producer. So when I made the record, Big Bro Roddy picked up the phone and was like, "Adam, I got something for you. It's crazy. It's my young producer just produced it," and sent it to him. And came back. I was like, "Nigga, Maroon 5? The hell?"
That's crazy.
And then, so that was my first placement. I didn't really see any success from it, but it let me know.
Yeah.
Like,
It was a great conversation.
Great
piece.
conversation
like-
piece to walk in the room with.
I mean,
so what have you done? Oh, I got a record on Maroon 5.
Well, that's how Big John
That's how
came
that
finding
shit
me.
go.
Came to find me. He was
How
like,
it goes.
"Well,
Shout out to
little
Big
nigga,
John
I
too.
got a
Hey, listen,
song on
shout out to
Maroon
Big
5.
John.
And Big John is always there.
Big John is.
Big
If
John
you're
is
successful,
always there.
There's somewhere that Big John has been in your life, your career,
Involved.
something.
Listen,
Yes.
Big John came over and was like, Maroon 5? So I guess that kind of had people looking like, what's this kid about? And then, yes, we're doing Chris Brown. We had just done Chipmunk and Chris Brown Champion.
Because I was just about to ask you. From my understanding, you did the Chris Brown and Chipmunk record.
Yeah, so
because that's
what-
how I met you.
Yes. Basically, I did Jawan Harris, and I always tell people, do not be afraid to work with people who aren't known. Humble beginnings can lead to bigger doors.
Absolutely.
Like I always tell people
Absolutely.
that. Jawan Harris was a new kid, but he sounded like Michael Jackson.
No, he was dope.
And I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
this song
Yeah,
that
yeah.
had this Motown feel.
Yeah. Jawan Harris was dope.
Mark Pitts was like, I need this for this kid. So I'm like, you're Mark Pitts. I know who the hell you are.
Yeah.
Have it.
Yeah.
So we end up making the record with the kid. He sung the song down like I was just looking at him like, you about to be the next Michael Jackson. You have to be. There's no way. Beknownst to me, we go mix the record. This is how. So this record actually was the starter for a lot of things. We end up going to Jason Joshua to mix it. So that's how I met Jason Joshua.
And they putting you in all the right
Yeah,
places.
you in all the right
Listen,
roles.
so I'm like, who is he? He's amazing. And he started mentoring me out the gate. Like,
That's
he's
what he
like,
does.
this is what you got. Because he's looking at me like, where you been? Like,
Yeah.
where did you come from?
Yeah.
Like, and he said, this record gonna change your life. And I'm like, big bro, you think so? He's like, I promise you it's gonna change. I'm like, I don't know, big bro. This is a cool record, but I don't know it's gonna change my life. This nigga was prophesying into my future. I go to the video shoot. Mark's like,
And
at
that's what-
least we could do is come to the video shoot. So I was like, okay, cool. Who's doing backflips in the video shoot?
Chris
Brown.
Yeah.
And Chris is like, I need to work with you. And I'm like,
There
boy,
it begins.
Yeah, right.
From that
on
song
that song.
and that unknown artist.
And now my life changed.
Yeah.
And the record never did well, but my life
But
changed.
your life changed.
Yeah.
And Chris is in the studio. So this is the scariest part. He plays Yeah 3X, Look at Me Now, the song with Bieber, No Bullshit. Like, I mean, the song that you did, Underdog. Like, I'm like, and he's like, yeah, so Harmz, I need you to, this, I said, this is your album?
This one right here.
This your album?
This what you want?
I'm like,
Okay. All right.
yeah. And Chris is a genius. Like, he's practicing in one room, he's playing basketball in another room, he's got a video being edited in another room, and
Yeah.
I'm
All
like,
of it.
There's
All of
like
it.
the baddest chicks in the room.
Yeah, they're there.
Every executive's walking in and out. Every producer from Dr. Luke. Like, I'm just like, this is my first year. I'm like, it's too much.
That's
Insane.
wild. That's actually insane,
Insane.
to
And so
walk
he-
into. Until you explain it to like the way you just have, I've never looked at it that way.
Right. 'Cause
Because
we're
it's
so
just
used to
like,
being- yeah, we're so used to being in there.
we 100 years in with Chris, so it's like we're just used to that's just Chris. But you explaining it as a new producer coming from a whole nother country,
Yeah. Yeah.
and walking into that,
Bro.
yeah, that's
And
that's,
so,
that's
you know,
insane.
and there's 7th Street is there, K-Max there. I'm like, this is overwhelming. But the one thing I did do was I came with 2 people. It was Courtney Harrell and I love this brother, Eric Bellinger.
Talk about
You got Eric with you.
You know, me and
Then.
me and Eric started to get, like, our careers started blossoming together.
Okay.
So when I got discovered by Rodney was trying to sign Eric. Because he
Okay.
was in a boy group. He
Yeah,
left.
yeah.
He was in a boy group that was signed to me.
Shut up! I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yo, this world is too small,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. I've been knowing him since
That's
he was
a
a pup.
That's a fun
I
fact.
say he's gonna be a monster.
Listen, so
Yeah.
he comes to the studio, writes Champion.
Didn't know that Eric wrote Champion.
He was the originator of Champion, and then I put Chip on it, and so it was gonna be Chip with Eric. Brian Jackson, who we all know is a genius and another huge mentor of mine. Just in case anyone don't know, Brian Jackson signed Rodney Jerkins, Pharrell,
super
Alicia Keys,
gifted.
Pink, all of them.
Yeah.
He's the one. He was like, "I'm gonna call Tina and send it to her." I said, "Send to Tina for what?" Look, I said, "Bruh, I'm going in with Chris Brown for me. I don't want to try and get myself in no trouble over no Chipmunk record." He was like, "Trust me," and he sends it to Tina, and Chris is like, "This is incredible. I'm jumping on it."
Mm-hmm.
But also, Chris was aware of the UK
What was going on?
and what was going
No,
on.
He's very tuned.
He was
in. He's
so
always
tuned
been
in. Him
very
and
tuned
Drake
in.
so tuned in.
Yeah.
They know what's going on. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." And as long as they allow me to speak on the Rihanna situation, because that was the first time he'd ever said anything on a record. And we was like, "Of course." So we do that record, and I'm like, I mean, when that shit came out in the UK, alarm bells. Like, I mean, I never seen my phone ring like that, bro.
Really?
My phone, and so I still hadn't worked
your
with
tag
Chris
on that
Chris.
record?
No,
No tag, though.
See, I
Okay,
had
okay.
the tag came later. All
right.
the
The
age
tag-
money.
the tag definitely came
The
later.
tag came
It came
later
later.
because
Yeah.
Because
I was-
actually, it's Tank doing the tag. So
right.
Tank,
Tank
you
had
didn't know him yet.
Tank had I didn't. I said for that one time I saw Roxy.
Still ain't got paid from it.
So
I'm trying to get you sued.
I'm
My
getting
bad,
paid
bro.
in tequila
My bad, bro.
for my
it's
tag.
tequila. Drink up, nigga.
Vuelo! Vuelamos!
Oh shit! Here we go.
so So we've done Champion. It's come out. It's gone crazy, and I knew something was coming. Chip was like, number one in the country in the UK. But what I didn't know was I'd opened the portal of all these young producers in the UK, because it was like, if he can do it, we can. And that was the whole purpose of me trying to break America, was to give those kids the same that same drive and opportunity that they could get out of the UK, and it worked. But when we went back to the studio, when I was in with Chris, he says, so after 9 hours of playing, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm actually like asleep by the piano, just trying to like get some sleep, because I'm still suffering from jet lag with the time difference. He's like, where's Harmz? He's like, he's over here. Eric's with me. And he says, yeah, so Harmz, I want to be in a club, but I want it to feel like pop. But I want it to do that dance thing that y'all do in the UK. But I want it, make sure it's like R&B, like that Michael Jackson. And it's like that Michael Jackson vibe. And you know what I'm saying? Like with some, so I'm like, all in one song? He said, yeah,
absolutely.
It's Chris.
Well, everybody who knows me knows I go to every session with my Bible. My Bible's right there. And I remember touching the Bible. I said, Lord,
help me put all this shit together.
I don't want to embarrass you. I'm going to need you to come in and touch the hem of this garment right now. Bro, first sound. Boom, 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 boom. Chris walks in and was like, nigga, what the hell? And he starts dancing. And then he's like, hey, baby. And it was just a rap. And I just remember him turning around and saying, nigga, you got it. And I was like, I did. I wasn't sure. I'm sweating bricks. Right. It's 5 a.m. and I'm sweating bricks.
Right.
And say it with me was done. And he said, so he calls me, so I leave. I'm like, whew, I made it. Thank you, Lord. I'm driving home at 7 a.m. And I'm just like, I'm going to bed. And as I'm getting to my house, this number, 818 number calls. I'm like, who this? He's like, it's CB, nigga. I was like, oh, what up? He said, yo, we're going back again tonight. I need you to beat what you did yesterday. I said, huh? I said,
the Lord gave me that.
No problem. I said, no problem. Yeah. And I was like, and we did. We did 2 back to back. And Chris was like, nigga, you are a genius. It's like, your life's gonna change for real. Like, I don't think you understand. But it wasn't even, the opportunity was great, and I thank Tina and Chris, but it was what he did after that really changed my whole life. Like, this is the cosign that every producer or writer wants, right? Mm-hmm. I am watching the BET Awards, watching the BET, 106 Park at the time.
Yeah.
Remember? So he had this thing called 15 Minutes of Fame, where he would go on and talk about his project for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And this one was about producing and songwriting. So we're all watching it. I swear to God, I had no... why would he mention me? I'm watching this. He said, yeah, I worked with... he mentions you. He mentions Underdogs. He mentions Polo. He mentions Timberland. He mentions all these hot names. And he said, and he had this new guy from London, Harmony. And then it just pans to me working on the beat. Yeah, his music's so incredible, he gonna be here for a while. Eric looks at me like, nigga! Right. Bro, my phone was like, like, Brian called me and said, bro, you're in trouble because the phone is ringing right now.
Yeah.
The phone, that was the cosign of all cosigns that any producer would want. You know what I mean? That person's gonna put their arm around you. That's what CB did, and I was a stranger to him.
Wow. That's,
it's Chris Brown. That's what he
does.
That's what he does.
So I don't care what anybody says about him. That's my nigga for life.
Period. Point blank.
Period.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's
no, that's a great story, bro.
It's exciting because hearing those records for the first time and now hearing the story behind those records gives it so much more depth.
Man.
And appreciation.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know how it is to be a producer and a songwriter at 3 a.m, 4 a.m. You know what I'm saying?
Waiting on somebody.
But still having to be at a level to be ultimately competitive.
Listen.
You got to be ready at 3 a.m. You've been there all day.
Maybe a couple days.
Maybe a couple days.
And you ain't the only nigga too.
Right.
You ain't the only one.
There's monsters in the room.
There's monsters in the room like this.
Hit Boy's in the room.
Looking at you.
There was monsters. Polo was around. Like I was very, very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Because artists of that magnitude also, it's not one session.
No.
It's multiple sessions going on at one time. They're gonna hear what you're playing, and then they're gonna walk to the next 2 or 3 rooms.
Nigga.
And if something is happening better
They
in
get
those
about
other rooms,
They might not come back to
You
you.
might not come back to you.
They're not coming
Might
back
not see you no more.
Might
So
not see you no more.
you held that attention
Nigga, I knocked 2 records off.
in a major way. You had to.
I knocked 2 records. I don't
You
know
had
whose
to.
records they were, but they were mad at me.
That happens with every album.
Yeah.
They were mad at me.
We go into projects and we go into the whole making of an album, and we have a mindset, and we think we're there, and then somebody either sends an email or somebody stops by the studio,
And plays a
or
monster.
you ran into a nigga at a basketball game, and he like, "Hey, bro, wait, y'all finished?" And always the answer is, well, we're not finished until the album comes out. Because if you say yes, you're cutting yourself short.
Yeah.
Not gonna
You
do it.
have to listen to
Yeah.
whatever someone has that you trust.
Yeah.
If you know it's one of them guys that really bring you that real music,
Yeah.
the project's never closed.
Yeah, you're right, bro.
And you got to keep an open mind for like how we did with niggas you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We on the rooftop of EPLP, Cardiac,
yeah.
who is hip hop.
My little brother Matt McNeil,
Yeah.
he's like, y'all got to meet Cardiac. I'm like, who's Cardiac? I don't even know who Cardiac is at
Right.
the time. And he's like, no, he did the. And I said, oh, the guy, he got the thing in his tag.
Yeah,
He
the
got
flat
like
line.
the
Yeah,
flat line. And
yeah,
he's like, yeah. I was like, he do R&B? He's like, he gonna do it for y'all?
Crazy.
I'm looking. I'm like, you do R&B? He said, I mean, what you need?
What you need.
I said, man, if you're gonna do R&B, you gotta really send me that shit. He said, I got you. I said, you got me? He said, I got you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe you, but let me see what you got.
Yeah.
When we later.
Yeah. He delivered when we.
That's one of my favorite songs.
I said,
too.
you are more than an R&B
Yeah,
producer.
you
are a monster.
He's a monster. Yes. Cardiac's a monster.
He's a monster.
sure.
He's done he did my favorite record of probably the last 2 years
Really.
with that Damage record.
Damage record. I knew what you were about to say.
That Damage record is crazy.
Damage record is, I don't know what that is. It's the same feeling that I still have when the original comes on.
Yeah.
They made a new record and didn't damage the spiritual
that's right.
connection
That's
of the record. They enhanced it in some kind of way. Like, so it's like you said, like when you're making an album, you got to keep your mind open
Yes, sir.
until the last,
Second.
until the final upload.
And that may even be changing now.
Yeah.
Since now all you have to do is
Switch out.
switch the records out.
Yeah.
You can switch them out a week after.
You can have a continuous album at this point.
You can keep going.
I mean, that's what's going on with SZA right now. Her album's continuing. Summer's album's continuing. Even The Weeknd's album from 3 albums ago is it's like some of his old records are still in the charts, and I'm like, what's
adding
going
to
on?
it.
It's like,
And
you know,
it just gives you a new release bump
That's
because
right.
after you get your first 2 weeks of album being out of that push,
Yeah.
and then it just kind of dies from there, and hopefully something connects, and that can take over the responsibility of promoting. But now it's like, oh, we just added 5 more records. It's not a deluxe anymore. It used to be a deluxe kind of thing, but now it's like we're just gonna relaunch the entire album.
Yeah.
Guess what, guys?
Yes, what,
Brand new
guys?
album. What?
because
Yeah.
there's always another audience that hasn't heard it yet.
For sure.
You know, and I think that this allows us to really connect with our fan base authentically without so many middlemen.
So as you're building as this super producer,
Yeah.
songwriter, and producer,
Yeah.
it's very easy to get lost in that space,
Yes, sir.
especially when you're being successful at it.
Yes, sir.
It's very hard to say, let me just stop
Yeah.
everything that I'm doing and build something completely different.
Yeah.
What makes you say, I enjoy writing and producing for other artists, but I need to write and produce for my own?
Every great Jimmy built, Berry Gordy built, Quincy built. There's just something about building something of your own that gives you a different legacy compared to just working with people.
For sure.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
I think when you build your own or own your own, there's a different level of respect that people have. You know what I mean? And there was a thing about in when I came out here where producers breaking artists was very different from what made certain producers stand out. Jermaine Dupri broke an artist. So
Artists.
I mean, shit. He produced and broke him. So that's a whole like Jermaine Dupri is actually to me underrated. He's in my top 5 because
for sure underrated because he doesn't do all the kicking and screaming about his music. Just talks. Like if you look on paper, if you read paper.
If you walk down that hallway.
You walk down this hallway.
You walk down that hallway at that studio.
Bruh.
It's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Nothing
Nothing short of amazing.
Not only did you produce, like for real in the studio,
No, say it again.
For real. Like not like
Yeah, we're gonna
20
have that
guys.
guy.
Oh, there it is.
Let me get my popcorn. Shout out to Terrell
Listen,
Owens.
let me-
Get your popcorn
Get your
ready.
popcorn ready.
'Cause I got my popcorn ready for this
Listen,
right here. Go ahead.
so you know, listen,
You gonna
I have
smack it,
issues.
Ruben.
I have issues with niggas that talk about producing and they are talkers. I have issue with it. Like produce a record. Yes, I understand the name for producing a record is a person who, you know, orchestrates the music from beginning to end.
Overseer from beginning to
You
end.
are. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But some people have
What is
that-
your criteria?
some people have that extra je ne sais quoi where they can beat make, vocal produce, lyric and melody, mix and master. There's some people who can just do it all.
Talk about it.
There's some people who are the Michael Jordans of the shit, and there's some people who, you know, you're
Play a
great. You play a role,
Yeah.
right? Jermaine, that guy.
Oh, Jermaine is that guy.
He
Jermaine is
produces
that
those records.
guy.
He writes those records. He puts his life on the line. He's gonna be there creatively.
means a
But
lot
then
of
he-
records are about him.
But then he gonna go to the radio, and he gonna call up the station. He go look. Did with Division. We never even knew who Division was physically until he picked up the phone and called Jay and was like, "This the move." And now he's almost helped recreate Division in 2022, and now they have
giving him a statewide identity.
That's I like as soon as I saw what was
or
going
at least
on.
a conversation.
As soon as I said,
Right?
that's Jermaine.
Yeah.
Like, and for me, you know, I think that for me was the thing. Like, I wanted to be like that. I wanted to be like Jimmy Iovine. A lot of people didn't know. And, you know, Jimmy's a very, like, that's the Godfather. But, I mean, he was making records.
He was a producer. He was making records.
No one knew that he was making
Engineer.
U2.
Yes.
He was like, he was producing for U2. Everyone thinks he was an executive star at Interscope. No, this man made records. So for me, I wanted to be able to do it from one extreme to the other. And so taking something that no one believed in and making it work is it's the risk factor. You know what I mean? And I wanted that respect because it's easy for me to go work on a Beyonce project. She Beyonce. Look how easy that is.
Very easy.
You did all the work. You grinded.
She's already Beyonce.
You're a billboard.
You just gotta not
if
fuck it
I
up.
place a record on you, cool. I get my little publishing check.
Good
But you
conversation around
Beyonce.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
But if I break an artist that no one heard of, called Ariana Grande,
Different.
now you gotta be like, well, who the hell did that?
Different kind of power in that.
Yeah.
Think about how many people Polo broke.
Multiple artists.
Did you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't say nothing about Polo. Like,
Oh, you better not.
you can't. Like, there's just a different essence around breaking the act. So
Yeah.
for me, it's important. So breaking Major was important. And we got disrespected by someone, by the way, who had told us, Major ain't hot. Major ain't hot. I was like, what? I was like, bro, chill. I mean, in a room full of people. Major ain't hot. Y'all asking me to get help Major. Tell Major to call me when he hot. And I remember leaving and you know, I've got plaques on my wall. So I'm looking at this nigga like, I'll beat your ass right now. I said,
They don't know you're violent. Calm down.
So,
They don't know.
but you know,
You
but
was
that's
ready
what
I've seen you.
You know what I'm saying?
The man has the Lion King scar over his eye.
That didn't come from no fight, though. I ain't gonna do that.
You should have owned it. So I run in on these niggas, right?
no.
I got the tool out. Nigga hit me over here with a shovel. Right?
Nah, it wasn't even that.
I don't know where you got a shovel from.
I'm very protective of my artists. Like I feel like it's disrespectful to just disrespect these kids or these young people who are trying to make it. Like,
I just think that, like, as you say that, right? I think that there is a thing to being honest.
Yeah.
There is a thing to being, even being brutally honest.
Yeah.
Right? But there is a line that can be crossed where it becomes disrespect.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I don't subscribe to crossing that line.
At all.
Yeah.
Because I believe that within every critique, you know what I mean? Within every piece that you, in a sense, tear down, there has to be a build.
Yeah.
There has to be like, I don't like what you did with that melody right there.
But here's an alternative.
But here's an alternative. Or here's a different way to think about that or reimagine that, which I think would make this great. It's
But most of these people can't do it.
They can't do it.
Do it.
And I'm going there. 'Cause first of all, you get out of here. Okay? You in
do
here.
it.
They can't do it.
Can't do it.
So they can't articulate why or how. And they hold these positions without the proper qualifications.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you preaching now.
Which is how you get to this space of people being brutally disrespectful
Yes, sir.
to the art because they don't hold any ties to art because they can't create art. So they don't understand the sensitivities behind the people who do create the art.
That's why I like to disrespect the disrespectful.
You do.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
I seen you do that.
Yes, you do.
And I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You got that thing in your eye right now.
Hey, listen, I am. No,
He's got the thing in his
we
eye right
all-
now. It's like
we all come from the same place, man, of being vulnerable artists and sensitive about our shit.
Yep.
We all come from that place. It hit us all the same when Erykah Badu said that.
You're damn right.
Everybody felt that, and that was more than just in that song.
Yeah.
That was a lifetime of the music business, of dealing with people who cannot create it.
Yeah.
With people who don't do anything but take from us.
Yeah.
Because they can't truly give us anything.
Yeah.
Maybe they can give us the opportunity, yes.
They can invest.
They can invest. They're a bank.
But they profit.
They're
from it, too.
bankers.
Yeah.
These people are bankers, but their opinions become knives.
Yeah. Yeah.
They become very sharp knives.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't survive those stabs.
Yeah.
And that's the part that bothers me.
Yeah. That was just dangerous,
Because
man.
all of us don't have tough skin.
Yeah.
It's a lot of us that don't. And it's a lot of really talented, sensitive people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the point. I just don't like bullies.
Yeah.
And people start to use their position
Yeah.
in a bullying way.
Yeah.
It's no way that you should, it's no reason that you should stand up in front of a room and say that.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas come back to me when y'all hot.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, man. Listen.
Pull me to the side.
You know, but I think God allowed that for me because He needed me to get triggered.
Okay. Get angry.
That's fair.
So what
that's
I
fair.
told
No,
you-
it's and that's for
fair.
all of us.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
when
We
I'm
need that
triggered
energy.
like that-
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, anybody who's a friend of mine or family member of mine or anyone that's close to me knows when you diss me like that. Because even though you didn't diss me, because I could be like, well, I ain't talking about me, but
Right,
he was
right.
because I represented Major
is what I
represented
believe
me.
in.
Yeah.
So I got you. And I remember I told Major I said, get off Instagram for the next month. You ain't allowed to do nothing. And he was like, big bro, what's going on? I was like, stay off Instagram. I need you to stay quiet. We ain't out here looking like we begging. And so we had finished off the project, got the project sounding great. I was like, we need that record. There's a record that's missing. That's just got, because Clive Davis said it to me. He said, Harmony, it only takes one record. And
Ain't
your
lying.
whole life will change. So that was what I was looking for. And yeah, look at it. It took one record for me. My life changed. Chris Brown.
Yeah.
So we end up making Why I Love You. Why I Love You was chicken salad sandwich. Because this fool was playing around on Instagram saying, chicken salad sandwich. I
way.
need a chicken salad sandwich.
No way.
I swear to God. And because they would literally just playing around.
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram like in the studio.
Something
Like,
in there.
I called a nigga. I say, bruh, what's that you're singing? He says, oh, I was just playing around. I said, wait, you made that up or is that from somewhere?
From something, yeah.
He's like, nah, because you make sure you don't get sued by nobody.
Yeah. Mhm.
And he was like, nah, I promise, I just made it up. He said, it's going viral. I was like, boy, if you don't take that shit down right now. He was like, I said, bring your ass to the studio now. He was like, bro, I said, bring your ass to the studio now. So he comes to the studio, he takes it down, he's kind of sulking like, I said, bro.
You messed up his viral moment.
I messed up his viral moment. And I said, I closed the door. I said, shh, this song finna change your life. And he said, you think? I said,
Because all he hears is chicken salad sandwich.
So we sitting down, we trying to write the song. And, there's a lot of things that people don't know. Major is a real Christian. Like he's a
Yes.
real,
Yeah.
he lives
Yeah.
the life
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
a Christian.
Yeah.
No, he's
You know what I mean?
he's a devout. as
He's
we
a
like to
devout
say.
Christian. A lot of people don't know, and I'm putting his business now. But he had held his virginity.
I'm a devout Christian. as
Ain't
well.
nothing
No.
devout.
I subscribe to
Hey
Christianity
man, let him tell his story.
in some way, shape, or form. He started talking about Virginia. I'm gonna have to get out of that once you start going there.
So he had been in relationships, but he had held his virginity till we wanted to get married. That was his vow, and so
Strong
he couldn't.
man.
He couldn't write a love song from a place of man to woman. You know what I mean? But he decided, he's like, you know what? I'm faking this. Let me write a love song to God because I know what that feels like. And so the first line, I found love in you because you love me first. That's the whole that's from that verse.
Gospel.
No.
It's
the same relationship.
It's the same. Yeah.
Because your relationship with God
There you go.
has to be intimate.
Go ahead. Preach, preacher.
Darrell has entered the building. He ain't Tank now. He's Darrell.
You have
Darrell.
you have to have a relationship.
Oh, if I had the organ right now.
Hey, listen, here you go.
Come on, brother Darrell.
There's a relationship that you have to have with God. And in order to have a good relationship, a thriving relationship, it has to be intimate. I have to know everything about you. You have to know everything about me.
Yes, sir.
And that's how we intertwine. So as you write a song about a woman who to me is the closest you get to God.
Yes, sir. I see what you're saying.
You understand what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
It is all the
I see how you bring it around. Come on, man.
It is all the same relationship.
Crack your whip, man.
It is all
Crack your whip, man.
It is all the same love making.
Yeah.
That's why the song works because
Yeah.
It's a love song to God.
Nah.
And I want people to understand the sentiment. Just because he wrote a song to God doesn't mean it had to be gospel.
Right.
And we proved that fact. Because when and I remember he was like, and he's saying, this is why I love. It's like singing the chorus. I said, Major, your life changed. I just remember having tears in my eyes like we found that man, that record.
Yeah.
What was deep though was I thought we was out of here, like a label was coming. We gonna sign this. We gonna sign this tomorrow.
You thought the Brinks
I'm
truck was
you know
coming.
what I'm saying? I'm like, we going to Motown. Someone gonna sign it.
Yeah.
It was a brother and a friend and another mentor who you introduced me to, Ghazi, who had a hip hop label. Like at the time that I went to go see them, you took me over there. You flew me
It's
over
still
there.
a hip hop label.
No, I mean,
But completely.
at that point it was
completely.
E40.
But what you did,
XXX, like it was a
you
bunch
were
of
part of the reason,
the change, right?
The change.
Yeah, so what you didn't know
Go ahead.
is that Ghazi had been asking me for years to help him in the R&B space because Ghazi loves R&B music.
He does.
He's
Jodeci's his
but he's
thing.
also Ghazi's a Bay Area kid,
Yeah.
and most people don't know. In the industry, most R&B records are broken in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Because we have a R&B crossover-ish
Yeah.
type station
That's
in
right.
KMEL.
Yes.
Right? Like it's a mainstream station, but
Yeah.
they still subscribe to R&B music. Like
Yeah.
Big Von.
Shout out.
He's broken
Yeah. Shout out to
many
Big
of
Von.
R&B records up there. And So we grow up listening to R&B music, even on our most popular station, which isn't normal in most places.
Especially LA.
Especially California.
Yeah.
So Ghazi just growing up on it, and then our relationship and him knowing how invested I am and was in R&B music was always just like, Jay, just come work with me at Empire doing R&B something. Let's figure it out. We can, whatever you want to do, I'll do whatever. And I'm like,
Not for me.
I'm not a label guy. I've never been a label guy. I've consulted at multiple places, but I've never wanted to be a label guy working inside of a company. I'm not a suit. So, which Ghazi ain't either. Ghazi ain't in a suit either, but he owns the label. So,
For good reason, though.
yes.
I'm glad he's not.
Yes. So he had already been talking to me about that. So when you called me to the studio and I hear the record,
Jay,
I'm already thinking that before you even asked me about him.
This is what makes him so deep, though. Y'all both have done this to me. He just came by the studio. Y'all weren't even in the facility no more.
Right,
Y'all
right.
moved. He just came by and was like, I just want to check on you.
What you doing, nigga?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. But 2 days prior to that, I was like, God, I need some help because no one wants to sign this. What he didn't know was I met Ghazi via email from that meeting with Craig Kalman when he pulled old boy in.
Yeah, because
and
Ghazi
said,
had a situation
"We should-"
at Atlantic before.
So
Yeah.
Craig was like, you need to meet with him and he can work with him on some stuff. So I've been calling Ghazi for months, no response. So when he came in, he was like, yo, man. So he comes in and he's like, what you working on? I play him Why I Love You. And he's like,
Yeah.
so what you need? I said, I'm trying to find this guy called Ghazi. So at least put it out.
Yeah.
He goes, man, God.
Oh, my juice.
Bro, my juice.
Oh, my juice. Heard my urban juice.
Hold my,
urban spelled with a V.
listen,
You know
hold
what I
my
mean?
juice. And says, oh, I'll call him right now. You know, he's like, I'll call him right now. Jay, what's up? I'm looking at the phone like,
First ring? First ring? Did it ring?
nigga, I've been calling you.
I've been calling you for 6
You
months.
don't know if you want to be offended
Oh,
or if you like,
right.
this
I'm just
guy's
grateful.
good. Either one of them. Yeah, right, right.
Grateful. It's
Yeah.
all of it.
He's just like, my man Harmony, he's here. I'm going to bring him over there. He got to play you something. Bro, I flew over there. I had never been to the Bay, San Francisco in my life. Got there. He's taking me to it's the older office.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at all these plaques. And in my head, I'm like, nigga, there's a bunch of hip hop plaques. I
It's
mean,
nothing.
XXX.
Yeah, it's nothing.
40, E40.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the hell are we going to do here? But anyway, this guy walks out. And he got this little vibe about him. Like,
Yeah.
he confident. And here's the kicker. I play him Why I Love You. And I'm like, how is he going to get
You don't
this?
think you're going to get it? Yeah.
And Jay's like, just play him the record.
I know,
Let's do this.
yeah.
Jay's like, just play it. He goes, that's a great song. That's a hit. I'm like, okay, that's in fact.
That's
He
a
said,
relief, yeah.
he goes, it reminds me of All of Me. And I got married to All of Me a year prior. So my brain's like, ding, ding, ding. He gets it. Because that's exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah.
And bro, when we handed him that project, we was number 3 on Urban AC within 6 months. A nigga no one knew.
Yeah.
The same nigga that said, go get hot, is at a wedding. Sitting down. We number 3 on Urban AC. And the song comes on, and the woman's and the bride's walking
Out to it.
And his wife said, he's like, wow, this song is amazing. And the wife goes, babe, you don't know who that is? That's Major. And he said, wow, I guess he's hot.
But to his credit too, because I always look at all sides of it. To his credit, y'all didn't have that song yet. Because you didn't play that song.
We didn't have a song.
I paid attention to that part of the story.
No,
and that
that's what I said. He
right.
triggered it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't have a song. He called me, humbly he called me and said, bro, y'all hot. Y'all got one. I apologize. He apologized.
And you gotta respect that.
Major shirt went down a little.
Major shirt went down a little more.
You want to see my belly button?
No.
You want to see where I come from?
No.
It was a cord right here connected to me and my mama.
No, man.
So yeah, so that's why. I mean, I've had so many magical moments from Rotimi's in my bed to
But
Janet
that
Jackson.
needed to happen,
Can't
and we're not just going to
that.
brush over that.
Can't brush
right?
over Rotimi.
You can't brush
Dare
over
you.
Rotimi.
I could never
which
brush over
also
Rotimi.
came
That's my
through.
brother.
It also came through the same
Ghazi.
pipeline.
Ghazi.
But Ghazi, and we go back to that.
Yeah.
Ghazi's also one of us.
Mm-hmm.
Ghazi was an engineer. Not was.
Yeah.
Yeah, still is.
Ghazi's still mixing records.
He's
I
in
was
the-
just in the Bay
in the
a
studio.
month ago, and he's mixing a record. I'm like, Ghazi, you know you own the label, right?
No, you don't have
He
to
don't
do
care.
this.
He like, no. But I said, and of course I used a cocaine reference about how, Big Time Dope Boy went and did years because he wanted to cook the coke himself. I'm like, so this is you. This is right.
He gonna do time for mixing the record.
He ain't gonna do time for it though. He's not gonna do time for it.
No,
Right?
but I mean, I watched. And actually,
it's his hobby.
Yo, listen, I watched the dynasty being built with that because when I went to him, he was figuring that stuff out. I think he just had XX at the time.
Yeah.
And then within a year or two,
It got crazy.
I
Yeah.
mean, it
No,
was
I
like,
mean, then from an R&B sense, he's Lloyd's record, True.
like Lloyd.
Yeah, I mean, Why I Love You. Like he's done
DJ
some
Moore
really.
came out
Yeah.
with like
yeah.
all of a sudden it was like Robin Thicke was over there. I was like, wow, it turned into an R&B label like
Yeah.
over that. But Why I Love You was one of the instigators for that.
Oh,
you
that
know
was
what I mean?
clearly the instigator.
No, for sure.
what it
For
is.
sure. No, he'll say that flat out. Like because that was so unexpected
Yes.
of him and his.
No one
brand.
expected it, and he made a lot of people believe in it. That man believed in that record. And
Yes.
that's why you always have to have someone who believes. If you have someone who believes, you're gonna win, even if it's just one or two people, bro.
Well, it's got to be a system of belief.
It has to be.
I mean, we have stories where people were like, nobody believed, and I had to do it all on my own, and we have those stories. But
They're lying.
you know,
No, there's always something.
Yeah, somebody.
There's
Yeah,
always
listen. Stop lying,
I
niggas.
don't know. I did this by
Somebody
myself.
believed, bro.
It was
My
all
ass.
me.
We can't do
I-
anything
Nah.
by ourselves.
My ass.
But the belief, the idea that the belief, is starts at the top.
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
yeah.
Yeah. No, he really
That's a game
changed.
changer
Yeah.
because
yeah.
those are powerful conversations
Yeah.
that, at an entry level,
Yeah.
you have no idea what those conversations are being had. You have no idea what those trade-offs are. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you're a trade-off,
Yeah. No, you're right.
or somebody's trading you in.
They'll trade you. That's right. No, you're right. You know you saying it for
You
real.
understand what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so, like, you guys became part of a trade-in conversation.
Listen.
I need this.
Yeah.
Listen.
I'll give you that too, but I need this.
Listen, that man pushed at a time that people were like, there's no drums. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
It was-
the first thing they be
That's
wanting
the
to say.
first.
It was like,
Oh
There's
man,
no drums.
They did that to my brother Pink Sweats.
they did that
Yeah,
to us.
They did to us.
yeah, I'm sure they did
But-
it to you.
We have a little more leeway because
Yo,
of who you are. But when you do that to a new artist,
Yeah.
when they have a special
A
record like
special
This Is Why I Love You, or for
Yeah.
Pink Sweats to have a record like Honesty,
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
and
that.
you're trying to send this to trap producers,
Yeah, you got to stop that.
don't do that.
Don't do that.
This kid's a superstar. He wrote an amazing song.
Yeah.
Let him rock
Let
out.
it, yeah.
Fight for him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fight for him.
Yeah. And Ghazi fought. And I love him forever. Like, there's nothing in this world that will change my mind towards that man. Like, he mentored me. He taught me how to be an executive. And he also assured that I knew what I was doing. Because you have to understand when you're in the back cave and you're creating, there's no windows. There's no light. It's just you creating. And you come out to the world and then it seems like the world thinks you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, why this one? And then one person like him says, no, you right. And I need you to stand in it.
Yeah.
And he gave me the confidence to really trust my gut and trust what. And then he taught me how, like, I didn't know how that digital space, because that's another thing that he was.
He's a
that digital
mastermind.
space. I
He's
didn't know how
he's
that.
a mastermind.
He's a mastermind.
Like numbers moving
Yeah.
and
yeah. He's like a music day trader.
Like,
He just sees numbers and he's figured.
bro, it was like his brain goes
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
insane.
and
Fast,
when
too.
to go to radio, and I was just like, okay, I need this knowledge. And so now I'm, as I build my empire and I'm building a label more, and I've been able to do my JV with Universal and partner up with Kenya Barris.
You got a lot of champagne flowing. I know you brought tequila, but you pouring a lot of champagne.
Every
on
time
us.
he talks, it's boop. It's just
Yeah, it's so much champagne going. But
wait,
you know what? I'm gonna stop your champagne real quick because I need to know. In my bed,
Okay.
amazing record.
So-
did the relationship with Ghazi lead to that, or
No.
did you guys were already doing?
No, this
because I know that came under Empire
this
as
music
well.
business is cyclical. Like, it's like we're all connected. That's why you gotta be careful. I always say, you gotta be careful who you disrespect.
No, just don't disrespect them.
No, but listen, some bridges can get burnt. But just know that you may have to cross that bridge again, and there's no bridge there. So
It's fair.
for me, I do my
There's
best.
certain bridges I don't want to walk on anyway.
In some bridges, I know that I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
But overall, I try to keep a clean palette, and have good credit. So it turns. Rotimi I've known for years. We're both Nigerian. So he knew I was Nigerian. I knew he was Nigerian.
He's more my side of the Nigerian.
He's more your side of Nigerian, the light skin
yeah.
side. I'm
So
definitely on.
I could be Nigerian
I'm-
too,
I'm,
bro.
you know,
No?
yeah.
Why'd you stop talking? I can't.
I'm just.
Niggas done kick me out of Nigeria, bro.
I just looked over.
Let me
cannot
go to Lagos.
You cannot go.
Yo, that's so deep. He said you cannot.
You cannot go.
Jay, if you ever go, you been to Nigeria?
I want some jollof rice.
You ever been to Nigeria?
No.
Oh, when you go over there, you might not come back. They might not let you
I'm
come
gonna have a
back.
They not
ball.
letting you do this
I'm gonna have a
thing.
ball.
Oh
They gonna-
my goodness.
They'll be
You
like,
know how they treat me in the
How?
South?
Jordan,
why
you
do
know how
you
they
look
treat
like
me in the
this?
South?
what are you?
You ain't coming back. That's a
Where
whole
are
nother
you from?
Yeah,
What have you been eating, boy?
yeah, bro. They go. You ain't coming back. Buy a one-way ticket. You're gonna have 50 wives. Buy a one-way.
I have 9 daughters who would
Listen, lined up for
like an
you.
opportunity.
Every opportunity you
What?
want.
What?
How'd you like it?
How do you like it? Whatever you like.
Whatever you like, for real.
That was my favorite part of coming
Listen.
to America.
Your name is Prince Akeem. goddamn.
Kentucky.
Okay, so you and my light-skinned Nigerian Rotimi.
So I've known him for years when he was doing his R&B, and he was, he got the role on
he became
Power.
Dre.
Became Dre, and it's funny. He a genius because he knows how to,
And he can hoop.
and he can, and he knows how to come out of character. He plays Dre so well, you wouldn't realize he was Nigerian.
It's crazy because
And
when he
then
started playing Dre, everybody thought that he was Dre.
No, yeah.
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
and so
That's how good he played the character.
and so
for
what
sure.
what was happening for him early before you guys
Yeah.
figured it out
Yeah.
is his music, in my opinion, wasn't connecting because his music was nice.
And he was Dre.
everybody thought he was Dre.
Yeah.
And so I was telling him, I said, listen, bro, as long as you have this character up and running,
You're Dre.
the
Yeah,
nice shit is not it's not gonna work.
No.
You're gonna have to say some bad words.
Because Rotimi is a really, really
He's
nice
a
guy.
really nice guy.
He's a really nice
like,
guy, man.
like a good-hearted
Yes.
man, though. Like,
What an amazing actor.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think people really understand how smart he is too. And so there's the Dre character, then he creates Mr. Butterscotch,
Mr.
Yeah, man, that's
Butterscotch.
right.
which separates him again and creates a
against
whole
him,
nother.
but brings him back to a likable space.
Right. So now,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now he's no longer Dre. He's like, okay, he's playing Dre. And so the thing for me, when I look at an artist, I always look at like, what's the most natural thing we can use? I don't want to create something that's not there. I want to use what's there. And the first thing I said, well, your name is Rotimi. You can't get more African than that.
Yeah.
Right? Your name's Rotimi. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a David or a Sean.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Rotimi. You're Nigerian, bro.
So I got to change my name.
You got an
I
accent.
got to change my name.
You could.
Yeah, I'm gonna change my name. I'm working on my Nigerian.
I'm gonna have a name.
You have an accent when you speak, even though you do have an American accent. It's wrapped up in an African accent, right? And you got Mr. Butterscotch. So we have to fuse the music somehow that makes you authentic. So the first hit we did was Love Rhythm.
Oh yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
me trying to figure out how do I make R&B chords with the pads and everything else, but still have that Afrobeat juju vibe that makes.
And
all
what
the
is Kenny
girls.
Hamilton doing this whole time while y'all doing this?
Now
is he in the
I'm
back
gonna
dancing?
give.
Is he in the back dancing?
Now I'm gonna give Kenny.
Is he
I'm
asleep?
gonna
Like,
give Kenny credit
is he
because
eating? What is he
when
doing?
Kenny finally brought him to me, because finally we had talked about working for years, like 5-6 years. Bro, I need to come see you whenever you're ready. Bro, I need to come whenever you're ready. In God's time, it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna be like, yo, this nigga keeps saying whenever it's ready, Kenny calls me and was like, yo, bro, Ro's coming. It's cool. We're going down the Afrobeat lane. Now, what a lot of people don't know is I've been doing Afrobeat for years. T was Savage, his first 3 hits were mine. Her first 3 hits In 2010, I made them.
Keep pouring that champagne. Keep on. Come on.
In LA.
We're gonna be drunk.
A lot,
So disrespectful.
a lot of people don't know that Tiwa lived in LA for almost 5 years before she went to Nigeria
And
to
worked with
conquer
you.
Nigeria. And she was working with me. Fantasia, she was working with me on a bunch of records. Kelly Rowland. And one day, she says, bro, I'm going to Nigeria. I said, for what? She said, I got to go over there. Now, understand what I'm about to say. I got to go over there and conquer it because there's no space for me here. And I said, there ain't no market in Nigeria. She's like, I got to try. I said, there's no one like me over there, but there's 100 of me here. I said, well, all right, what you need from me? I got you, sis.
Yeah.
She said, see the way you make beats. All the sounds you use for like Beyonce and Kelly and everybody else. Use those same sounds, but make Afro beats with them. And I was like, oh, I see what you mean. So use the 808 drums and the snares, but just use the grooves that we use back home. She's like, yeah. That's how we started doing it. So we made Afrobeat sound commercial. We made it, we westernized it. We made it palatable for Americans and Europeans to understand. So she was over there. A year later, she comes up with a Pepsi can with her face on it.
Wow.
Come on, Tiwa. You know what?
Wow.
Have some more
Shout out to
drink.
my sister Tiwa.
Some more drink for
But
Tiwa.
mind you, everybody said no to her. I know that. I
course
was
they
there.
did.
You know
Probably
what
the
I'm
same
saying?
fools that said no to the other
Oh,
stuff.
she
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wanted, oh, you're just a songwriter, you're just this, you're just that. And now she's one of the biggest female acts in the world.
Wow.
10 years later. And yeah, me and Oak, shout out to Big Bro Oak. He
Big
produced
Oak,
a couple
yeah.
of those records
Yeah.
too. But yeah, that was how we sonically were able. She took everything she learned from here, from shooting the videos, or what if you watch what she does.
And took it to Nigeria.
And she just took it to Nigeria, bro. She would do everything here and then go over there. And so she was inspired. Same way I inspired them young kids in London, she was inspiring them young girls and them girls to like step out of their norm and try some shit.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so a new sound was birthed.
You're giving me, you know, the key. You need to know.
Yeah.
Knows
Yeah.
turn you
It turns
into
you a monster.
something
Yeah.
different.
Next time you call me, I'm gonna say you know. I don't know why. I might even like it. I'm just no, bro. No. Like, I'll kick Jay's ass.
No,
I'll kick Jay's ass.
So go back to Ro. I saw how Afrobeat was changing because obviously she broke. Then another young girl I worked with called Shay Shay, and then I was watching Wizkid, and I met Wizkid way before he blew up. A lot of people don't know like Wiz and Rotimi used to be signed to the same label back in Nigeria too. There was like an African label that they all worked with. So there was a scene behind the scene that no one really. We knew that the Western world wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
But we were building. And Ro finally comes to see me. He's like, bro, I'm ready to go. So we go in there. Kenny was the one who was like, H, we going down the Afrobeat lane, but put that R&B in it so we can sell it out here. Cool, Love Rhythm, first one. So that song comes out. I remember you was at the.
No, Tank loved the Love Rhythm. That was his joint.
And so
He hit me like
I know because
he like, bro, got one, Jay. He like, you got one.
Tank hit me and was like, nigga,
Yeah.
you did it again.
There was a release party.
Yeah. So I'm one of those producers that when I do something, I gotta make sure it doesn't die. So I'm driving. It's about 6 months. Songs come out. It's actually doing very well, and I'm like, Ro needs another one. We can't do a
stop
record
it.
that's gonna go down because if it does, then it defeats the purpose of us going this way. So I literally call him at 7 a.m. He'll tell you, and I'm like, bro, I figured it out. I know the next song that's gonna change your life. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I said, when you do this song, your life's changed. I haven't made the record. I hadn't written the song.
It's here though.
I made it right here.
It's here. I
And
know where it is. Yeah.
It came on the radio. That's why a lot of people
like-
that's like, ready or not, here I come.
He was like this.
You
Oh my
can't
God.
hide. I'm gonna find you. And I said, no one's done this since then. And I was like, can I make a beat out of that? and I'm making it in my head, and I'm like, oh my God, he can perform this on stage, play
And
the
then go into
original,
the original.
Yeah.
So
You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
literally
And then,
making the beat,
and then go
and-
into some Mario wine.
Listen.
Yeah, the whole thing.
listen,
Go everywhere.
everything he does on the show, it was here.
Yeah.
So I call him and I tell him exactly
What the
how-
record is,
what's
yeah.
going on. And he's like, bro, how do you do that? And I said, I don't know, it's a gift. Why? He comes to the studio like 4 weeks later and he's like, you made the record? I was like, no, we about to make it right now. He's like, nigga, this whole time you ain't made the record? Do you remember it? I said, of course I remember it.
Yeah.
I made it already. So we start making the record, and then one of my favorite R&B songs is what? There's a meeting in my bedroom. And so as the beat's going, and shout out to Ryan Toby because he wrote that record with me
My
with
guy.
Baron
Special.
Wade, and he was
Special.
telling me,
I just ran up on Ryan in the mall the other day.
listen, that boy's
He was
special.
like, why are you threatening me? Yeah, I said, because you haven't been on the podcast.
He gotta come on.
Yeah, he's a
That is
monster.
like
He's a monster.
he gotta come on.
Ryan Toby?
Listen, the God.
Shit.
So he's like, one thing I love about Ryan, he's gonna be like, yo, you got the sample, chop it up a little bit so it kind of move different. So if you listen to it, the sample's moving with the beat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not all the way the same. And then I go, there's a meeting in my bed, in my bed. And then the rest of it
It's history.
I mean,
But what you did was,
I just kept fusing.
it's a thing you went back to in the beginning is you look at the artists and you understand the DNA of the individual, and that's how you make the connection to the music because they can live in their truth. They don't have to.
He didn't have to do
it's-
nothing
you didn't-
else.
you didn't- y'all didn't create an
Yeah.
identity. You didn't put a mask on and a cape and become
He's
Batman.
Dre
No,
and
he's-
Mr. Butterscotch all at the same time.
He's him. Like,
Like-
you gave him an opportunity for him to be nothing but his true authentic self. He can do that every day of the week.
And he's been doing it
and be
since.
successful.
And he's been doing it since. I mean, I went to see him perform at a few shows on his tour across the globe, and I said, "Wow!"
Yes.
And the same song, the exact way I saw it in my head when I'm driving to the gym at 7 a.m. is exactly how he performed.
That's
it.
production. That is, when we go back to the initial conversation, that is exactly what you were talking about. And you just explained it.
Yeah.
That is a producer
That is a producer.
through and through. Being able to
We're prophets, man.
see it through.
We
That is
prophesy.
Teddy Riley.
Teddy
That is
what?
Rodney
Yeah.
Jerkins.
Rodney Jerkins.
No, and that's what
The
puts you.
Timberland.
That's what puts you in a different space, and that puts
Yeah.
you in those guys that you just named.
Yeah.
Those are all guys that have done that and done it for years,
Yeah.
and you're following that path.
Yeah, man.
You know what I
Easy.
mean? And we see it, and we appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I listen.
You know what I
appreciate
mean?
it,
Like
man.
that's something that's everybody don't have that, and everybody doesn't want to take on creating from scratch.
Yeah.
The responsibility.
You know what I mean? Which leads to you being the first guy
First.
to tap us and say, "Hey, man, hey,
The first.
hey, brothers, can I try something different?"
Bruv, not brothers.
Bruv.
Bruv.
All right, bruv.
Yeah.
Hey, bruv.
Yo, bruv. Let me get some more tequila, man.
Man,
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
No,
Get-
I just want to say this vibe is special, man. Like I don't like a lot of people who know me know I don't really tell my
You
stories.
ain't got no more ice, bro.
Yeah, I mean I don't really tell
Don't
my
pour,
stories.
don't pour cold water in that man's drink.
I'm good as it is. A lot of people know I don't talk my shit because I just let the work. A lot of what I said today. A lot of people were gonna be like, I didn't know that because I really don't tell these stories.
That's why we have this platform.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of this people are gonna
want
be
to-
shocked about.
We want to put a spotlight on the background.
Yes, sir.
Like, yes, we're gonna have artists who pull up, and that's great. But for us, we did this with a purpose. We did this podcast with a purpose, and that purpose is to shine light on everything
Yeah.
in R&B music and everything in music, period, and everything. And even when we don't have R&B artists on here, Tank and I are R&B.
Period.
So
the definition of it.
listen, if I decide to bring Obama on here and talk about R&B, it's still R&B.
not R&B.
It's enough here. So,
Ain't that for sure?
brother, we want to to lead into what you asked us, what you was like, because you always go to, I don't want to
Don't
be
step on any
I don't want to
toes,
step
bro.
on any toes, bro. I don't want to be,
Look, anytime I listen, for me, my mother taught me it takes a village. Y'all my village. You know what I mean? Y'all some of the, if I have a problem or if I want to learn something in this music business, or if I wanted to understand how to maneuver, it's y'all I call. You know what I mean? And so I called y'all because, you know, I ventured off in, like I said, I did my partnership with Universal through, and Cardinal Official actually, you know, I don't know if you know.
Good guy. Man,
he got me my JV. You know what I'm saying? Another friend, relationship who put his career on the line and said, you need to do this JV with this kid. And we ended up doing this deal with JV with Universal and Interscope and Kenya Barris. A lot of names. But Kenya's another great person on my artist, my new artist. And I was like, you know, she's a special one for me. You know what I mean? I've worked with a lot of female artists, and it was just something unique about her, her drive, her passion, authenticity, and I feel like she has something that we reminisce about from R&B, but also has something new to give to R&B. Yeah. And I feel like as I'm launching her right now, I'm launching her into a career, it was only right to be knighted by the king of R&B. Like, I was like, can she come on?
Come on, king of R&B.
Like,
listen, we did, but what people don't know is that we did this a long time ago.
Yes,
when
sir.
you called me in to hear, and I was like,
yes, sir.
yeah.
you gave me the cosign. Like, you know, you get, when you say,
you know what? Come on. Come sit in my seat. Come on, have a seat. Come on, have a seat, GOGO.
Come on, introduce her. Introduce her.
Introduce her.
She's first lady. She's first lady of our company. My artist, and I'm very proud to stand next to her, and I'm super excited about her future because I feel like R&B needs this. R&B has a lot of different things, but I think we need this. You said something about love. I think GOGO brings love to R&B in a different way. The tone is different. You know what I'm saying? That tone that makes you want to go home instead of be out.
Is that what you bring, GOGO?
Yeah.
So I wanted her to be knighted by the kings of R&B. I feel like would only be purposeful. It, like, you know what I mean? Like, where I come from in Nigerian culture, they say you have to be blessed before you start your journey. And I believe that as we about to start this journey, it's only right to be blessed by those who have paved the way for us to be here. And, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to GOGO Morrow.
Yeah. Welcome to the R&B Money Podcast. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, a little young Philly thing.
Yeah. Give us a little backstory.
Okay. I'm from Philly, like you just said. I'm from Philly. I started in church like most singers, and then I did musical theater as a kid as well. Went to school for music business, interned at Def Jam for a second. Then I got my first like big gig singing background for Lady Gaga.
That's a cold first gig.
Bars.
Yeah, that was like the first. Honestly, that moment right there is what fueled my fire to become an artist. Because before that, I loved music since I was a kid, but I didn't know.
Troy Carter's from Philly. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Troy Carter, I know he knows my family. He knows my father.
Okay.
My sisters, I have older sisters. One of them was in his first ever group that he put together in Philly. So I have like my roots in music go way back before I was even born. My father had a singing group with my uncles called the Golden Chandeliers in like the 70s and the 80s.
The Golden Chandeliers.
R&B at its finest. You already know.
Listen.
You already know that's R&B. You already know that.
Yeah.
Golden Chandeliers walking around here.
There was some players in the Golden Chandeliers.
They were.
Yeah.
So I was just born into music, and I've just always loved it. I can't really remember a moment falling in love with music. It was just kind of always my thing. So, you know, my journey is long, and it brought me to meet Harmony.
Who mentioned you to me? I just mentioned him.
Ryan Toby.
Yeah.
Ryan Toby. He's like a big key player in where I am today. I'm so thankful for him. He also wrote on a couple records on my project. So Ryan is man, that's my brother. I love Ryan.
Yeah, great person.
Yeah, he's amazing. And so I have a lot more I could say, but I don't know.
Listen, you have the platform and the microphone in front of you.
I just want to say this. Harmony went into,
Yeah, he got his legs crossed. It's different.
He went into some.
He's the last king of Scotland now. Now he's the last king of Scotland. Now you know what I mean? He didn't fool with Edie Amin.
Oh my
like,
God!
This is, I'm
What
well
is
versed,
wrong
brother.
with y'all?
I'm well versed.
What is wrong with
He got his
y'all?
white sock out.
It's
He's
there.
really out of control right now. And I don't know what you just did, but you just took his confidence to like
a whole nother
1,000.
place.
He's so excited about your project.
Listen, I'm just excited about. Let me tell you something. Once
This
again,
ain't Joe Jackson mixed with
Listen.
Matthew Knowles mixed with
listen.
Brandy Mama mixed with like, bro, what did you turn into, man?
No, but you have to. What people don't understand is when she first came to me, like from the first session, we made a smash. In the Way was our first session, which is the first single that we put out. Mm-hmm. But it was her vocal ability in the studio, and she just kept getting better and better, and it didn't matter what I threw at her, she just was eating it up.
Yeah.
And this project was just coming alive in such a way that I was just like, and I could see the fire in her eyes, and it just reminded me of that thing that I had trying to come in the game. And I remember when I think the thing that clicked in my head was like, she was like, Harmony ain't going nowhere, you my guy. Wow. And I was like, it was like she had more belief in me than I even had for myself.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I don't know, I don't want to mess it up. I was like, I avoided it because I was like, I don't want to mess it up. It's a female, you know what I mean? It's hard. There was this thing, and we should talk about it one day, but this thing about 5-6 years ago where black R&B was like females were no longer. You know what I mean? It was like, black girls, we ain't signing black girls right now. I couldn't believe they were even saying
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that. And now we got black girls everywhere.
No, they completely run this
and
space.
it broke my heart. When she came to see me, I'd played her to a few executives, and they was like, yeah, she's amazing. She sounds great. But, we black girls are expensive. They ain't really signing black girls right now. And I was just like,
statement.
what the
Wow.
Yeah,
like
it's
it,
a wild
but
statement.
boldly said it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and it was worse. It came from niggas. It didn't come from like white folk. It's like, they ain't
Niggas in buildings.
in buildings. And I was it broke my heart. But I understood that, you in the house. I'm in the field. So I get it. You get a different perspective. But I believe.
Yeah.
So we kept working. I didn't try to sign her. I just wanted an authentic relationship. And we had one. I was a brother, and she was my sister, and we just kept working. And one day she looked in my face, just like, nigga, I ain't got nowhere. You can pass me off to everybody you want. This home.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. And everything switched. I gave her 110% of my attention since then.
So you're signed to BOE Interscope.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
And with Kenya.
And with Kenya.
And
What's
with Kenya.
Kenya's
Collabo.
label? Collabo.
Shout out Collabo.
Okay. Yeah. So that is the partnership.
That's a partnership.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's going to help, us get into the TV and film spaces. Because I also, like I said, my start is musical theater. I want to act and
She has a scene. She's in the next one of the episodes of
Grownish. Yeah.
My little cousin's on Grownish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sierra. Sierra Wright is my little cousin.
I don't know if I met her. I just did.
Him. So
okay.
I forgot his character on there, but he plays football for USC too.
Oh,
Okay.
fire.
He's a superstar.
He's a
He's a
monster.
superstar.
Fire.
He's a superstar.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. That's my little cousin.
Cool. Yeah. So I did an appearance there. So hopefully there will be more of that. But
No.
But there will be more of that.
There
You're
will
right.
be.
There
Come
will
on,
be
speak
more
it.
of that. There
Speak
will
it.
definitely be more of that. But I'm just excited to launch these first, couple EPs and get the music out and get people hearing it. Because I think that I speak or I sing from a perspective that's not really out there right now. And I think a lot of our R&B girls, I love the space we're in. I'm so happy that they've opened, doors for me and everything.
Yeah.
But I think there's still a perspective that's missing, and that is the girl who's.
Don't tell him.
Don't tell him.
Nope.
Okay.
tell him.
All right, you good.
Just show him.
Okay,
Don't tell-
you're right.
'Cause here's what's gonna happen.
You're
right?
right.
I mean, scoot over.
Okay.
Cause you here. You ain't going nowhere.
I'm learning.
You ain't going nowhere. You sitting right here for the rest of the podcast.
Okay.
There's a thing where like this is a special moment because we've never done this.
Yeah.
You are the first to be presented by a guest, of course, who's
Yeah.
a family member.
Yeah.
So you're the first.
That's the only reason why.
You
I'm a
see-
family member.
That's it, right? And so what we're lining up is an opportunity for new artists to not just talk about it, but to get an opportunity to be about it.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna have you back, and when we have you back, we're gonna tell your full story, but we're also gonna have a microphone set up
Yeah.
to where
Yeah.
I can perform.
you can do what you do, however you want to do
Okay.
what you do.
Okay.
So
Remember, she coming.
Unless you want to push him out the way like 5 Heartbeats and start singing.
I love that scene.
It's up to you.
I'm gonna wait my turn.
Yeah, I mean, all right,
Until it's
listen.
properly set up. But no.
listen, Harmony got his leg crossed, so his belief just went. He's like, that's it. Listen, if that's his. Oh, you niggas don't know. That's, tell you niggas right
Let-
now.
no,
You see the names I named.
Listen, yeah.
But you know,
Michael and Janet mama, daddy. Beyonce daddy.
Brandy mama.
And Brandy and Ray J mama. And let me not forget Tito. Jermaine.
Don't you
Hey,
Randy.
hey, hey.
Latoya.
Your leg crosses. You talking that talk without saying nothing. That's what the leg cross represents.
I'm gonna just say this. When I remember being. It was so funny, and like I said, everything is cyclical. But I saw Tank at the airport randomly. You remember that?
Tell me when.
So I'm at the airport randomly, and he was like, "Yo, what you doing here? New Orleans? Where's that Essence?"
Okay.
And I was like, "Bro, I gotta play you something." He's like, "Play it to me, bro. What's up?" I play him GOGO. I put him on there, and it was his favorite, your favorite song, "Don't Stop." And he was like, "Bro, what you doing this?" And I said, "What? Check this out." Went to Instagram. He said, "That's what she look like?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I'm coming to meet her. I'm bringing Jay. We're gonna come see her." And I remember that's when y'all came to the studio. I remember playing. You was
This
like,
is
"Nigga,
early.
this was
Early.
Yeah.
We
This
hadn't
was
even
some-
finished
yeah.
the EP, bro.
Yeah.
This was like 4 years
About
ago.
4 years ago. Yeah.
bro.
A long time ago.
Yeah. So
Well,
this is why
it's-
this was important for us to, you know.
and the lock in and the staying. It's something to that.
Yeah.
It's something to staying down and staying in it,
Yeah.
and like you said, building.
Yeah.
Because this shit happens on purpose. Right? There are some accidents. There's some lightning in the bottles that we see, but
Yeah.
there's a formula to just staying connected and staying locked in and saying we're going to see this through, hell or high water. We're going to figure this the fuck out. And
Pretty sure me and you are prime examples of that.
No, but I always say that once you can find that chemistry, it's important. So speaking of that, that's why I started saying no to a lot of projects because I didn't know them. It was just like I'm not gonna get the value that I need to get. And for me, I want impact. I don't want to just sell records. I want impact. I want to be able to say when I leave this place and go on to the other side that my music is still impacting. There's a lot of records that sold millions of records that we don't care about
Yeah.
to this very day.
Yeah.
We ain't playing it 20 years from now. You're not hearing it on Super Bowl. You're not hearing it, at the Oscars or the Grammys. I want to make records with people who I know like may have the opportunity to impact. You know what I mean? Like In My Bed is gonna be forever in his arsenal. Ariana Grande is The Way is forever in our arsenal. Every time, where did you start? This kid called Harmony made this song called The Way featuring Mike Miller. Like I want to be impactful, and for me, it was important for us to make do something this way. And because it was impact with the chemistry is just right. The chemistry with y'all is right. When you two make so much sense. When I see you, I see him. And when I see him, I see you. Timbaland and Leah. And Missy.
Missy, yeah.
Darkchild, Rodney, and LaShawn Daniels.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jermaine Dupri, Michael B. Cox, and Usher.
Yeah.
And Mariah. Like,
Jonte Austin.
when you got that chemistry, bro, don't fuck it up. Because it is the thing that takes you to the next level.
And it's not a matter of if.
It's
It's just a matter of when. It's just
When,
a matter of
bro.
time. It's just
Every
patience.
time.
Just take
Look,
your
Usher,
time.
I'm with Usher right now. He with Jermaine.
He with his guys.
When Usher was Puff, okay, it was cool, but the chemistry wasn't the same with Jim. Just like Jermaine just knew him. And when Jermaine explains, you saw the 25-year thing they did.
Yeah.
I was like, see, that's exactly what I do. He was watching Usher, hearing him talk, trying to figure out his stance.
Trying to figure out him.
Trying to figure him out. And Usher was like, yeah, man, I want to I want to do things my way. Song.
Shout out to Tyrese in the video.
Yeah, I mean.
Just,
Yo, that was crazy as well, yeah.
Completely being beat up on. Prince said no to Michael Jackson. You should have said no. Your butt is mine? Is that the video you're going to be in?
Man, what?
You don't know that story?
I do.
The correlation is just horrible. The correlation is just horrible. I have to do it. All right, so listen.
My niggas.
We want to get into your R&B mind, you know what I'm saying, since you got R&B artists here. You know what I'm saying? This is for you to know where his R&B mind is. You will know by this next, these next few questions and answers what this man is on and if you should stay with him, you know what I'm saying, or come to R&B Money. All right, so here's
we don't steal artists. We don't steal artists. We don't steal artists.
You have no choice. We have no choice for this show for you.
Whatever.
We're showing up. We're showing up.
Harmony. No, fuck that. H Money.
Yes, sir.
Because this is definitely H Money.
This is H Money right here.
My bad.
And he said, pour me some more tequila.
Yeah.
Leg crosses. All right. Your top 5
Ooh. Popcorn.
R&B artists, male or female, don't matter
Damn, bro.
what time. Top 5.
Okay.
Your top 5.
Your
My
top 5.
No.
Got nothing to do with
I'm
nobody else.
gonna say there's one person that's gonna be in my number one, and I'm gonna give him.
You don't have to be in order.
I know.
Either, yeah.
I'm just gonna say one artist, Stevie Wonder.
I mean,
Songs in the Key of Life.
You don't have to say that. Just say just artists.
Well, I'm just saying.
We're getting to that.
Yes, I mean
okay.
Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
You play everything, you write everything, you sing everything. You have a range that's pronounced, and
You're
you
disrespectful and you can't see.
You can't see.
You're disrespectful.
Tank said he could see.
And then you've been around.
Tank, you did say he could see a little bit.
Yeah, I anyway, let's that's not conversation.
Stevie gonna beat Tank ass.
And he's a Taurus, and I'm a Taurus.
I heard Stevie could fight.
No, I heard he whoop your ass.
I heard Stevie could fight.
Fun fact.
And he looking for Tank.
Fun fact. My aunt is one of the what are they called? Stevettes. The Stevettes from
really?
Yeah, one of my dad's older sister. Yeah. She's one of Stevie Wonder's
She sang background for Stevie Wonder.
She's got Lord. Music. You're destined to destined to do this.
Yeah,
you're destined to do it. All right,
Stevie Wonder. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go to another person, Whitney Houston. Now, she translates from pop to R&B.
Well, she made R&B
to
popular.
Gospel.
Everything. She does everything.
Everything.
When you can make me feel like I'm in church.
Yeah.
And make me feel like I'm in the club, and then make me feel like I'm in an arena.
When you can sing about America and make me cry,
the national anthem,
you can do that.
Yeah,
hands down. And you were able to translate your voice to all colors.
Monsters.
You have to be in my top 5. Number 3, and I think the only reason why I'm saying this for him, I mean everybody is gonna pick him, is the king of pop.
You mean the king of everything?
Huh?
The king of everything.
The king of everything.
Okay.
Like, I mean, from fashion
Everything.
to song. She even color skin changed. Like, this
Movies?
man made us see music in different ways. I've never seen anybody move, dance, sing. I mean, he cried every time he did She's Out of My Life. Like, every time. And Quincy was like, wait, are you crying again? Like, you was zoned out.
Are you crying
like,
again?
He every take he did, he cried.
I just feel it.
Like, I don't know. And then to do it for that long, I'll be an idiot not to say that.
Come on.
I'm going to go newer. Newer. Usher, man.
Oof.
Okay. Listen. No argument.
No argument.
And
I went to Vegas 3 times. This is a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, one.
And I know why.
3 times.
Usher translated for me because we're now, you're now in my age range, so like Usher's in my age range, like he's a couple years older than me, and I'm like, he spoke for me for at least 12, 15 years,
Easy.
20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when he was 18, I was like 15, and he was the guy I wanted to be like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to dance, sing. Like, when he wore the beanie hat, I wanted to wear the beanie hat. When he had the glove in his hand, I wanted to wear the glove in his hand. When he switched to the A hat and started wearing the jackets with the suit jackets and the t-shirt and the jeans, I wanted to do that. Whatever he wanted to do, he almost took on like the armor of Mike, where he could start things and you'd see people do it. Like,
Yeah, for
he
sure.
was definitely shifting culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you are at that level, you have to.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can even get to that level if you're able
If
to.
people are following
Yeah,
it.
if people will follow it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say my last one, and not because not to be funny, this nigga here.
So you don't hate him anymore?
Yeah. let me tell you why. Let me tell you. I remember the first time. Now you remember this because the thing about Americans, y'all here, so you live here. I'm in a small city village in London.
Yeah.
And we had the cable box, right? And we had a show called The Box. And The Box would come on, and I remember this powder blue,
2-piece leather suit. Talk about it.
and this nigga sitting down
about it.
saying, "Maybe I deserve." And I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" I said, "What the?" Like, I was like, I never heard anybody be so vulnerable first.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it wasn't like, please come home, I did wrong. It was like, maybe I deserve for you to just do me like this because I ain't shit. And I just was like, and he took me to church at the same time.
Yeah.
But he looked like a nigga from the hood.
You shout out to the fur.
Like,
the fur vest.
and I was just like,
with my arms out.
and I was like, and it was a tone. It's another thing. It was a tone
Shout out to Tamika.
that was,
Shout out to Tamika Foster.
Tamika Foster.
to me,
my dog.
listen,
Yeah.
it was a tone at the time that I'd never heard.
Wow.
Right? We had big voices. You remember, whatever translates to Europe is pop.
Oh wow.
R&B that translates to Europe becomes pop. Just remember that. In the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, if you, as an American artist, translated to Europe, you were pop. You weren't just R&B. You were pop. That's how it came to us. So it was like 100 songs, it would go down to 20 or 15. And that would be the R&B playlist that would go. And that would be the biggest of them all in America. That would be the top. So
Yeah.
when he came through, it was like, we was like, who? We never heard, and he had his shirt off. He's just like, I'm gonna take my shirt off, nigga.
I'm gonna take my shirt off.
But and then you know what I mean. And then we
It's
bought
cold
the
in
album.
London, ain't it?
It was cold as shit. We bought the album, and then he gave us Sex, Love, and Pain.
Wow.
And I think that was the part that was like, yeah, he's never going anywhere. He's here with us forever.
I
You know what I
appreciate
mean?
that,
Because he been doing this a minute. He been doing this a minute. He been
Long
doing this a
time.
long time, bro.
Long time.
We talking what? 94? 95?
No, 97.
97. 97, bro. I Deserve came out.
No, I Deserve came out in 2000.
But he had been in it since
But
But
I've
you
been
been
in
in
it
it. So
since-
2000, when I saw I Deserve, I was like, we'd never heard anything like it. Like, it was ringing. I remember going to uni, and that was what everybody was playing in class.
That's crazy.
Is uni like school?
Yeah, university, like college.
College.
Like college.
Yeah,
So we
nigga, I
playing,
ain't go
we
to
playing it on
college,
the
nigga.
college radio. Like, it was like, and my boy who was the DJ then, he would always look for the newest CDs that came out from over there. And I'm telling you, everybody was talking about that album. And the albums after that, when y'all next album drop,
You know what's crazy is that, first of all, I appreciate you. I mean, I don't even know what to say to that, but
That's why I said I hated you in the first place.
I remember going to one of my first times going to the UK.
Yeah.
And doing a show there. And I remember when I got back to my hotel, there was a family waiting at the hotels. It was a white family waiting in the hotels, like mother, father, a few kids, and maybe like an uncle or something like that. It's a bunch of people, like, you know. And I get out of the car, and they're staring at me. And one of the I think the mother's like, can we meet you? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And she's like, we apologize for being here at your at your residence, at your hotel, but we had to know that you are a real person. I was like, what? So we've only, we have our YouTube, I guess YouTube is the thing that, everybody went to at that time. Like, so we see you there, and we listen to your songs, but we've never seen you
in person.
And we had to make sure you were real.
Ain't that the trip?
I was like, and it was I didn't know what to say.
Yeah. What do you say to that?
Thank
I
you,
don't.
man.
I was
nigga.
I was like, yeah.
No.
It's me in the flesh, nigga.
You mind if we take a photo? I was like,
Of course, yeah.
I want some food. Like, what else do we do? Because, like, I want to make sure I'm. And so that was my first
experience.
My first experience and understanding, kind of,
the impact.
I guess my impact.
Yeah.
Being abroad.
Yeah.
Because everything for me was just so
America.
US.
Yeah.
I want to be able to get into the clubs free,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying, and all
Bro,
of this.
you translated.
And over there, it was like overseas was the first time I ever heard the building shake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
you being from that place.
Listen, bro. When I saw it, I couldn't believe it was him at the Roxy. I was like, ain't that Tank?
Just standing here.
And just standing there. And I was like, that's like, for me, I was
But
like,
that's what LA is, though.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
Just, everybody just got like chilling, like posted, like.
He was just standing. Why are you standing?
Why you at the AMPM talking?
Tank will definitely be at the end.
Listen,
I am definitely.
Listen, but I'm grateful, and like I said, you can always tell a relationship is going to last long, or a relationship is going to fade, by just the way they respond to you. Like, he could have acted like, nigga, I don't know you, but he was always open. He was always, yo, man, can I play you go-go? Yeah, y'all came to the studio. Y'all rich. You ain't got to come to my studio. Y'all came to the studio. Stop that.
Yes, we do.
Jay, stop.
Yes, we do have to come to the studio.
Stop that.
Because we have a responsibility.
Jay, stop that.
To music, to come by the studio.
Yes.
Now, and I want to applaud y'all for stepping into that seat, because nobody wanted to claim R&B for a long time.
We don't.
And I'm glad. Well, we fight that fight.
And it's like. And we don't fight for credit or or try to stand on any type of ceremony, but we didn't have the ability to go do other things with musically.
Yeah.
We never made the transition to 4 on the Floor.
Yeah.
Or all of the other things that maybe bigger artists or bigger R&B artists were able to get off in order to survive when R&B went through the drought. When R&B went through the drought and got dry, we were dry with it.
Jesus.
We were dry with it. When it was taking a loss and taking a hit, we took the hit. We were still in that boat while it was sinking, trying to repair the holes in the hull.
Yeah.
And as it now emerges from this sinking ship to this beautiful vessel that is now, cruising all around the world.
We got plenty of fish.
The only thing I want us to, you guys are crazy. You so stupid. Like, the line couldn't even go for
That is not what I was hearing.
No, we got plenty of fish.
But there was nothing else to say after that.
That's how we emerged about the water, right?
There was nothing else to say after that. We got plenty of fish.
The boat is fixed.
Anyway, all right, listen.
Oh, man.
No, man.
H Money,
Yes, sir.
top 5
Song.
R&B songs.
Look, he be watching the podcast.
You know
He be
what I'm
watching.
going.
Oh, you know I'm a fan.
He be watching.
You know where I'm going.
No, the first time y'all did it, when I saw the Instagram, I said, they best had me on.
Hey, listen.
You know I'm a.
That's when he wasn't nice on me. I'm gonna tell you niggas like this. You know, probably had his leg crossed when he called me. I'm gonna tell you motherfuckers like this.
Get off the accent.
I got
He ain't had no accent.
Bro, I was like, I'm an international R&B advocate. Like I fight for that thing so hard. But songs, okay.
Top five. You
For
have
me.
a top 3 tequila. I just want to let you know that.
I'm gonna say Things Your Man Won't Do
Jesus Christ!
by Joe. Let me tell you why.
Amazing.
Let me tell you why. Firstly, I mean that song has lasted how many years? And probably when we've left, we'll be here.
Yeah. Yeah, that record is all time.
That pre-chorus.
I talked to Joe about that. I say you're so disrespectful.
Like
for singing that
I don't
B section.
Yeah.
I don't think I will ever hear another B section that great.
I wouldn't argue with you.
Because it almost was bigger than the hook.
Ooh, that is
Like
a very great
Like
observation.
it was almost
Very
bigger than
great.
the
Not
hook.
almost. I think it was.
Right.
I think it was.
And when
It's-
you
it's
see it
more
in-
known than the hook.
When you see it in concert, which we do so many shows with him, I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
And
There's a
I remember the
swell
first
when that
time.
happens,
I
yeah.
just remember going, "Are we allowed to even do that?"
He did it.
Like I was like, "Huh?" And then he does it so effortlessly. Like the first time I saw Joe perform, I looked at him like, "Is he really singing or is he miming?"
It
Because
don't look like he's singing.
He doesn't look like he busts a sweat for shit.
No, he's sweating. He sweat out his tuxedo. He sweats through his tuxedo. Okay. Shout out to the Tux King and the cummerbund. It's first young fella I seen put a cummerbund on. I said, Joe, you know there's a lot of kids out there. She got a whole cold cummerbund on. I don't know how they're gonna receive that.
Receive this music.
They're gonna receive this music.
Things Your Man Won't Do. Joe, go look that up. For all y'all young
Oh my
kids watching,
God,
go
what
look
a
that
song.
up.
Okay.
Joe,
And a
Things You
singer.
Want- Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And a singer.
And a singer.
Probably one of the best of
One
our.
of the coldest.
Coldest. Whew. Okay. That's one of my favorite songs.
Number 1.
Whew. Is It Magic by Stevie?
Somebody else just
Yeah. That's been mentioned twice.
Isaac
Yeah.
just put us on. Well, he just put me on that song.
Listen,
I didn't know about
Yeah,
that
I do
song.
recognize
that song is
No, I didn't know
emotionally
it.
I cried to that song
Oh
because
my
that song
God.
was just like
When
I don't know. He's
when
an
he,
alien.
When he
Stevie.
just played it for me, I was like, "What is that?"
And he produced that by himself.
I-
Blind.
He's
Let's stop
making
saying
sure
blind. He can
you
see.
know.
Stevie can see. Let's stop this shit.
Get out of there, man, because Tank will get beat up.
Let's stop this.
Tank will get beat up.
Oh,
Is
Stevie
it
can't
Magic
see.
Stevie?
Is It Magic Stevie?
Oh my God.
Whew. Okay. Songs that changed my life. Come and talk to me, boy. Jodeci.
Boy, you talking that talk today? You listening? You listen?
I'm listening.
He's,
It's between Come and Talk to Me and Forever My Lady. Them two kind of like are the same. They came at me at the same time. I was kind of mad.
Well, Come and Talk to Me got the remix.
Come and Talk to Me just was like,
Yeah.
are we allowed to do that?
Yeah.
I kept asking, like, is this allowed? And it was just like the remix as well with no music. Boom.
That's a cheat code.
Boom.
That's a cheat code.
Boom. Come and talk to me. And it was just like these dudes from the street dressed like
they were
niggas but
singing
sound
harmony.
like the
They were
church.
screaming harmonies at you.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, come and talk to me. What? Can I talk to you?
And they look like the homies.
Come and talk to me. Why are you yelling at me like that?
Bro.
Pretty sure they didn't sing it like
That's exactly how Casey.
Like that was one of like I'm not gonna lie, that song was a big one for me. Like
I'm sure you picked. For
he
sure.
good. That was a big one.
Yeah.
Jodeci, Come and Talk to Me. And I feel like a lot of people have tried to recreate that.
Nah,
so many times.
leave that alone.
And I don't think they're ever gonna do it.
Your name ain't Devontae. Leave it alone.
Woo! So that's 3. I'm gonna go to the king. Human nature.
Ah.
I'm sorry, dog. Like I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry. Like that. I mean, there was 5 hooks in that one song.
It had a musical hook.
It was 5 hooks in that one song.
It's a
my bro.
musical hook.
Yeah.
And ends with on some musical cinematic like.
That everybody tries to do.
And you're not doing it.
You know, as soon as it happens, you know what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
It's unmatched.
Why?
Unmatched.
Why?
I just
Tell him it's just human nature.
it's just human nature.
Why? Why?
Why you do me that way?
Why you do me that way? Does he do me that way? Like, I try to preach this all the time. We are not perfect, ladies.
Here you
Go,
go.
go.
Here you go. Here you go. He's
We're not.
starting. Here we're not.
Sounds like an excuse.
No. Michael said it best.
He did.
It is just human nature. We are flawed by nature. Nature isn't perfect. Right?
Sometimes it rains.
Sometimes it rains.
Sometimes it's too hot.
Sometimes it's too hot. There's a hurricane. They name names. The Hurricane Ida came through and destroyed everything. That's nature.
Yeah.
But guess what? It's also going to rebuild. Those people aren't going to move.
Okay.
They're just going to rebuild
That's right.
everything that was torn down. But they're staying. Listen to me, ladies.
Sometimes
storm came
they
through.
relocate.
Sometimes. No, it's not all the time. Sometimes they relocate.
What you're comparing this to?
You know what I'm talking about, Gogo. Don't play with me. You know what I'm talking about,
Well, you
relationships.
can't really say
I
that.
don't know if I can.
She got a song that says "You in the way."
Yeah.
You in the way.
I don't like your vibrato. I don't like how you just did that. With the vibrato in it. You're doing too much. Cross your legs, you got vibrato. You're naming very nice songs.
Very.
You out of control, right? Number 5. Let's
Yeah.
go.
What's the Pip song?
Huh?
What's the Pip song?
Did I do 4?
You did
Yeah.
4.
What's the 4? Michael,
Stevie.
Stevie, Joe,
Joe.
Jodeci.
Jodeci. Okay. It's a long playlist. Jesus, my God. Come on, Lord, give me something. It's one. I'm trying to find the one that brought a tear to my eye. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever, forever.
Maxwell.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Maxwell.
You hot.
Yeah.
You hot right now.
That song.
You hot right now.
That song. We ain't gonna be here. That song gonna be here.
That song is going to be here forever.
Maxwell's still touring off that motherfucker.
Maxwell's just a different kind of monster.
Definitely.
It's a different kind of monster.
Definitely. But yes, I mean, those are songs that have woken something inside of me. When I wasn't even like, if a song stays in my spirit and I can smell something or hear something or, you know what I
See
mean?
something.
See something, and those are the songs that do that.
Because they're like time machines in a sense.
Yeah, they don't go nowhere.
Like those songs, like all the songs you named, I can see a place in time.
Yeah.
I can see the people who were there or the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
I
mean, there's bigger songs that.
No, it goes
those
back to
were-
that other word,
Yeah,
impact.
Impact.
Like these are impactful
Ooh,
records.
Yeah.
very much so.
All right.
Go!
H Money. GOGO in the building.
What's up?
Shout out to GOGO in the building. H Money.
Thank you for having her, by the way.
Come on now.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anytime. We're gonna build an R&B artist.
Okay.
We're gonna call this the R&B Voltron.
Go ahead.
Okay. Where you gonna get the vocals? Where you gonna get the performance style? Where you gonna get the styling? And where you gonna get the passion?
Female or male?
Oh, hold on. That's up to you.
Okay.
Yeah, you can mix
and you can
match.
mix and match it however you want to.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So let's start with the vocals. Who you want to get the
Vocals?
vocals from?
Brandy.
Well, don't waste no time then.
I mean, if I'm gonna,
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need no
Just-
explanation.
Let's
Yeah,
go
you
to
don't
Brandy.
need no explanation for
What-
Brandy.
yeah,
What is understood
the vocal Bible.
does not have to be
For me, my generation, and
our generation.
and our generation, I mean, shit. So yeah, definitely Brandy on the vocal, especially rest in peace, LaShawn on that.
they were
vocal
magic.
production,
They were
you know what I'm
magic.
saying?
Who you getting the performance style from?
Queen B.
I mean,
Beyonce.
who can
Beyonce.
who,
You
who
can't-
can entertain
I mean,
a stadium?
Queen B. I mean,
I mean,
15 years, 20 years
does
straight.
does it get any crazier than that?
No.
No drop off.
None.
No drop off.
Know what I mean? And I put Queen B because she sings that shit live for real though.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Monstrous.
So you know what I mean? So I just think it's one thing to sing in the studio, but then you perform it live and do it exactly like the studio.
Get on my nerves.
Yeah, so.
All right. Who are you getting the styling from? What you want your artist to look like?
Ooh, that's a wide one. Styling. In R&B.
No. Anywhere you
No, I'm
want.
gonna say R&B.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Janet.
Yeah,
Janet
Janet the
translates.
cold style. Yeah.
Janet translates in all genres at all times.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what
Yeah.
time of the year we are, what decade, she's showing up.
I don't think it matters what time of the year it is.
No, 55
We're
years
gonna
old.
roll with whatever she got on.
Absolutely.
55 years old.
Janet will layer up on you
55 years old.
in the middle of the summer
Still be fly.
And fine
and
with
still
it.
be fly.
Yeah.
Fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, you're doing really good today. I just want to let you know
Appreciate it,
that
boss.
as your brother,
Thank you.
you're really shining.
I'm gonna cross my legs, me.
Yeah, keep crossing legs again. It's fine. It's fine. Who you getting the passion from? The heart of your artist.
The heart. That's different. I would say a name, and she just takes me there every time. Fantasia.
With her shoes off.
Put her shoes off. Yeah. Cross the stage.
That's a woman that I've seen.
She's going to sweat.
like she
every
she,
night.
Like she does not. I mean, that woman's had me in tears.
Yeah.
Outside of working with her, just seeing her just sing my songs back. Lose to Win Again, and she sing. I'd be like, that's not how we did it in the studio.
She putting in a whole nother level of work.
Like I'm talking worship in the studio. We're in the Microsoft Center, and people was like, "Thank you, Jesus, Hallelujah." I'm like, "Yeah, you're different,
yeah.
different
yeah,
passion,
yeah.
different passion." That's
I
why I
love
say
it.
Fantasia.
That's a cold Voltron. You gonna wave
That
him off?
Voltron that might be that's an
yeah.
exterminator right
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
That's,
Take a
that's
sip of my drink.
that's a Terminator right there.
You about to break the other one open?
I'm just showing the
He
people.
just showing the
Yeah,
bottle.
come on.
So- so
Come on with the
they don't
promo.
They don't
Come on with the promo.
I appreciate
Come
it,
on with
too.
the promo, man.
Reverend, my people love you.
Yeah,
Well.
yeah. I'm rocking with it.
Yeah,
I'm rocking
man.
with it. And I mean, since we've had a beverage, it's probably a good time to get to this segment.
What's the segment?
You know, since you watch the show, I'm sure you know it's becoming a thing. It's kind of
Yeah.
known around these streets a little bit.
Talk to them.
It's called I Ain't Saying No Names.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm God be good no saying
No,
nobody's
you
name
actually
today.
said you already told some stories where you didn't say no names earlier, but I need
You need some
story funny or fucked up, or funny and fucked
I
up.
got a lot of those.
We all do. Even though Tank tried to tell one that he told on somebody else's show, and I had to damn near cuss my old co-host out. It's crazy. This is crazy. I'm gonna look at you. I know he looking at me, but I'm gonna look at you while he looking at me because I don't understand why he would do that. I don't understand it. It don't make sense to me. But today we're here with H Money. People, I'm still not looking at Tank. We're here with H Money today. And we would need Harmony, H Money.
Yes, sir.
We need your, I ain't saying no names.
Woo, I got some personal or like.
Man, whatever you want. Just the only rule is you can't say their name.
Yeah, that's fine. That's easy for me. I don't like saying people's name anyway. Damn. Which one do I? Where do I go?
You told me a lot.
GOGO says she know a lot.
All right, I ain't saying no names.
Here we go.
There was a song I made for an artist. I took an artist who was also a songwriter to this session. And this artist was a good friend of mine. And the artist was a good friend of mine. And one of them was successful already. And the other one was trying to make it. And I got caught in the middle of a situation. So we go to the studio. I said, yo, come to the studio. And it was like, I don't want to come to the studio do that session because, I'm trying to be an artist right now. And so I'm scared I'm going to write a record that I'm going to want to keep. And I was like, man, just come. Trust me. You never know, like, connections. Like me, I like bringing people in. It takes a village. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you come to the studio, whatever. Like, so she comes. And we write a monster. Well, a couple months go by, like 6-7 months go by. And in the session, she looked at me, she's like, I knew it. And I was like,
You can't keep it.
so
Right.
couple, I'm not even gonna lie, a year plus goes by. And this other artist, established artist, had gone ghost. So everybody be like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. Yeah, they doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? They got their own thing.
Yeah.
So the writer artist called me and was like, yo, what's going on that record? I said, I don't know. I ain't spoken to the homie for a minute. So I don't know. She's like, man, I'm gonna try to use it
out.
And I was like, well, you should say something. I don't know. They might want it. It's like, nah, I want to use it. And I was like, it's on you. So I said, let me at least find out. So that's why managers can be dangerous. So management had conversations, and the conversation was, and I think it was a front. Yeah, we don't know if we want the record, because they didn't want to pay.
Yeah.
Because it was like, yo, if you want the record, let us know, so we could pitch it somewhere else. So I was like, hey, I got an email saying that you're good money, so go do your thing. So artist goes to do the thing, got a deal off one record that I did, and that was supposed to be the next single. So turns out the established one came back. It was wrapping up their project and was like, I want this to be my single. And so now I'm in a fucked up situation because now I got both people trying to use the record as a single, and it's up to me. Shit. Yeah. Pretty fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you know how it goes. I know the rules. So the one thing I go is the playbook. How was the song written?
Who was the song written for?
Who was the song written for? Does that person have publishing? Or then that person has more say? Regardless of whether they denied the record or not, I got to go with the person who we did the record for.
Yeah.
Because they own the recording at that point. That's how it goes. So I had to go to the playbook.
Actually paid for the session.
Nigga, when I say they cussed me the fuck out, I mean,
Oh yeah.
it destroyed a relationship that was dear to me because it was someone else that was connected, and it really kind of like damaged the relationship for a period of time. But I had to do the right thing, and I let it go. Fast forward later, they end up doing a record together anyway. So,
Did your record ever come out on either one?
it came out.
Okay.
It came out, and it did good. It did
Okay.
good. And they both ended up doing very well. But I got cussed the fuck out.
Yeah.
For something that had nothing to do with me.
That is a great.
I'm asking names.
That's a great.
I wanna know the name.
We want to know later.
We wanna know.
That's great because, it's hard to decide what to do in that situation,
bro.
and you really just went to the rules
Listen,
of the thing.
if you know the rules, the one thing I understand about this music business, there's rules, there's relationships, and then there's outsmarting niggas. The game of chess. This game is a game, and this game is a chess game. I believe the reason why drug dealers or the mafia or whatever always associate with the music business is very similar. You
Very.
gotta be smart. You gotta
Yeah.
be street smart. But you also gotta have relationship.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you also gotta have street ties. But you also gotta outwit the nigga and know how to move.
So many layers.
And that's the music business. And for me, I knew over time things will finally kind of like be okay. But I mean, a nigga threatened my career. Like, it was like, yeah, you blackball. We blackballing you. Like, it was that deep. And I just was like, I'm from London, bro. You can suck my dick. Like, I was like, bro.
There's the
if
harmony I know.
Like, I was like, bro, if you blackball me, then understand that you might not make it home. That's how I had to be. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was that kind of like, because a lot of people would see me and be like, oh, they think because I'm a church boy and whatever. Like, I grew up in the hood with the same niggas that y'all grew up with. Like, we got street boys from London. I was the nigga who decided not to go there because the studio saved me.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we was on the block. Well, we had all my niggas was on the block the same way. So
Don't think I don't still know those
like
guys.
I did, they're my peoples. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I chose a different life, but they're my peoples, and they respected me and love me for making a different decision and support me in everything I do. But they ain't gonna punk me though. Like, we gonna blackball you. You know what I had to do to get here? You gonna
Yeah.
blackball me over the rule book? That ain't my fault.
Over the
bro.
rule book.
Over the rule book.
Like, I didn't write the rules.
Gotta make the rules.
I didn't make the rules. So, you know, that was definitely
Some people
fucked us
believe
up.
that they make the rules. So-
Listen, anyway.
That's how it goes.
Another
But no,
conversation.
listen, great story.
Well,
And very informative story.
Yes.
Because people should know how this thing really works, and they should know the rules.
Yep.
And there, for every situation that people get into, and they want to go around what the rules are what the rules are. Now you decide how y'all want to handle that, but these are the rules to it, and this is how it should play out. So
Yeah.
respect for that.
and the thing is, everyone got to understand, everything fizzles out over time. The same anger you felt 5 years later, you ain't gonna care. Especially if you winning. They gonna come
Especially if you're working.
working and winning. Like,
Yeah.
bro, I didn't stop. That record didn't do nothing compared to what I was doing with other people.
Yeah.
So they end up still coming to my studio and still working anyway over
and,
time.
And it also like speaks to, which we never get to talk about, is the idea of not being married to things
Yeah.
when it comes to this business.
Yeah.
Say that again?
Not being married.
Yeah.
Don't like
Songs are songs. I've never been married to a song.
for a living. I made a mistake of being married to a song,
Which
and I
one?
turned down $400,000 in a Lamborghini.
What song was that?
I don't want to talk about
Please
it.
don't tell me the song, bro.
And then I didn't put it out. That's the worst part of it. It's the worst part of
So
it.
we would have had a Lamborghini.
I don't have those moments.
And
I don't have those
400,000.
And this is why this relationship is.
Yeah,
perfect.
and I probably, I'm not even probably, I wasn't working with him at this time. When
No,
he
I
turned
definitely
down
know
the
you was.
400,000
I know
Lamborghini.
because I definitely would see the Lamborghini right now
He-
because he would have said, "Nigga, you crazy."
He wasn't where he was supposed to be. I blame him.
He wasn't where he was supposed to be.
I hate you.
I blame him.
He said,
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Shoot.
I'll take it.
Where were you when I need?
But being tied to songs is such an important message because a lot of people don't understand. So the first thing Rodney taught me was, if you're that great, make another one.
That's it.
So when he taught me that code, I never was tied to anything. So a lot of people don't know, and this is probably, Ariana Grande songs that I did on that Yours Truly album were Jordan Spark records. We did. So once again, visionary. So you wake up in the morning and I'm thinking about the next thing I want to do. And I remember Rodney would call me like, what's wrong? You seem like you're in a funk. And I was like, bro, I'm frustrated because everything on the radio is dance music. And I didn't come over this way to go back to do what we did in London. Like, it was a lot of it was like Get Her and a lot of that stuff. going on. So my brain was hurting because every time I went to the studio, that was what I heard. And that was what they wanted us to do. And he was like, well, then change it. I was like, nigga, I'm supposed to change it. He said, figure it out. So what I had to figure out was, what did I want to hear on the radio? You know, and you remember radio was still very, very important then. You know what I mean? And I was like, the last person I heard on the radio that I loved was Mariah Carey. The Butterflies album. So I was like, we need someone like that. We need a woman we need a R&B songstress who could sing in pop mainstream. And so I went on a mission looking for it, and I found Jordan Sparks. And she was signed to RCA. And Fantasia, I just finished Fantasia's album. Thank you, Tank, for jumping on that album with me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So Jordan comes to the studio. I'm like, you're the next Mariah Carey. And she looked at me like, what are you talking about? And she's blushing and crying and, oh my God. And she's dating Jason at the time. She lost all this weight and she's like looking fabulous. And I'm like, we got to go back to this. And I point to the Butterfly album where Mariah did the song with Old Dirty Bastard and Puff produced that album. And I was like, let's do that. And she was like, well, how do we do it and make it sound like now? And I said, that's my job. I need you to sound, do you know what I mean? How you do. Big voice, friendly, approachable, and everybody else. So we go. The Way was the first record I made for her.
Wow.
And a bunch of other records. I got turned down by the label. They told me it was trash. Oh, no. Oh, you finna hear this today. I got told it was trash. All the records I made for Jordan, with the vision of it somewhat being like a new form of Mariah. You would never ever replace Mariah.
For sure.
But I wanted the essence of what they created then in 2011. Label told me it was trash. And A&R specifically said, yeah, man, that's trash. We wouldn't even put that on the deluxe. Okay, cool. A year goes by, and I get called by Universal, and they say, yo, would you go on with this girl called Ariana Grande? And I was like, who? This? She's a Disney girl or Nickelodeon star. And I was like, what do we do with a Nickelodeon? Like, how am I supposed to work with a Nickelodeon co-star? I was like, for me, I was working on Fantasia. I was working on Kelly. I was working on, you know what I mean? Like, I was working on, I was like, I don't know if I can break it, but I always remember the Juwan story. You just never know what's going to happen. So she comes in. What's the first song she sings to me? Emotions by Mariah Carey.
Wow.
So you doubted what you
already there.
So I said, like the first thing, like I got 8 records sitting in my studio, bro, that I've been cracking my head trying to figure out.
Who can sing?
Who gonna sing these? Like for 18 months. And then this girl comes in singing Mariah vocals, like doing the high runs and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I literally say, excuse me for a moment. Can you mind if I? She's like, fine, it's okay. And I walk into my hallway.
Okay.
And I'm standing and I'm looking up at my plaques like, nigga, this can't be what you're about to. You're not telling me all that work I did then is for this moment.
For right now.
Lo and behold, bro.
That's how it works.
First song I played, The Way. Bum, bum, ba, bum. Bum. Cuts that song immediately. First single. 2 days before the record comes out. 2 days before the record comes out. Who called my phone? The same label.
Of course.
Can we get that record?
It's gone. It's gone.
What record? They said
18 months
the one
later.
you did 18. The
Yeah,
one you
it's
did for
gone.
Joe. I said, bro, this is coming out on Tuesday. Remember
It's coming out on Tuesday.
Remember that's when the Billboard
Yeah.
records just come out. I said it's coming out Tuesday. You can't get this record. It was like the nigga was like, fuck. And I was like, why are you screaming? Like, so I'm tripping because I'm like, shit, I might be in trouble right now. I don't know what's going on. They was like, we'll pay you 5 times the amount they paid you. I said, that's how desperate it was getting.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, you don't want to pay me 5 times the amount they just paid me for this record. It's not worth that. And he was like, who got it? I said, some young kid called Ariana Grande. I don't know. She's new, Nickelodeon star. I don't know. Like, she can sing her ass off.
Right.
Drops the phone. I'm like, what the hell going on? I'm still green at that moment because I only been there 2.5, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
My phone rings again. Big bro Salam Remy calls me. He's like, yo, we can't get that record. I said, you too? You want the record too?
You too.
And he said, no. I'm the one who made them ask you for the record. I said, big bro, I played it to them 18 months ago. They told me it was trash. He said, Harmz, I guess they didn't hear it. They called you because I told them that was a hit.
Wow.
I said, damn, big bro. He's like, because he had just done his venture over there.
Yeah.
Remember he had that weird venture? And who did he want to sign? Jordan.
And he was gonna kick it off with that.
And he wanted to do the same idea I had.
But that's how the music business works.
He was like, Jordan, she's the superstar.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow. He was like, bro, so who got it? I said, this girl called Ariana Grande, bro. I don't even know her like that. She's like on Universal, Nickelodeon kid. He was like, congratulations, my nigga. And hung up.
Congratulations.
The rest is H
Congratulations.
money.
That's a great way.
That's a great way to end this
Congratulations. Because it went to where it was supposed to go.
H money. First of all, I'm gonna take a sip. I'm gonna take a
Yeah,
sip of
one
your
more.
very fancy tequila.
One more.
Thank you for having
I'll
my
get
beautiful sister
$1 million
Absolutely.
endorsement deal with. I'm just throwing out wild
Listen,
numbers. That's
thank
how
you
gotta
so
do
much
it.
for the.
Manifest.
Anytime
5 times.
anybody say they want to do
5
something,
times.
you just throw out a wild number 5 times. Okay,
Let's
a million.
Let's
You are a brother.
Forever.
Yeah.
You are a loved one. You are special to us.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Most of all, you are extremely special to this universe.
Yes, sir.
And everything that you have to offer, from your struggles to your successes.
Yes, sir.
And we here at the R&B Money,
Yes, sir.
we love you.
Yes, sir.
And I love R&B Money,
you.
man.
We love you.
Listen.
Yeah.
I listen. First time I ever worked with Tank. So this is like when you know relationships are real. He had put out album after album. You was around the corner
Yeah,
from
right
me
around,
too.
yeah.
And I was just like,
I know what you're
and I'll be like, damn, another album, I ain't got one. But I knew that when it was time, the right time was gonna come, and we did What Would Jodeci Do?
Yeah. Yeah.
You remember that?
And it was like, it was haunting me. Some records haunt me. And I'll just go back and listen like, why aren't we doing anything with this?
Listen,
Yeah.
he came.
Is that Ryan Toby again?
Listen, Ryan.
Ryan
listen,
Toby. I said, Ryan, you want me singing like that? Because I went and I sang it. Like, I put some shit on it. He's like, it's good. You sound great, but you got to dial it back. You got to get back in here. I say, so you want me to whisper? You want me to put that?
Because he been doing the I can't even.
You want me to
My
whisper
jaw
that
is
thing?
killing
And I
me.
was like, okay. And we went back to it. I was like,
Let me tell you something. Tank, again, like you, popped up and put his head around the door. And he said, what's that?
Yeah.
And it was boom, 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 boom,
I said, oh,
boom, boom, boom.
might just go back and make a video to that
Listen,
just because.
and you know what's funny? And he goes, that's when I knew I got one. Because he walked in as we just finished the record.
Yeah.
And was like,
I need it.
I need that.
Need it. Need it.
And
not-
he disappeared.
I'm not-
like,
that's it.
like the man had been in the studio all week, didn't come through. That particular day, it's like God was like, how many got something?
Need to
for
gotta
you?
have it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for taking that record.
Listen, brother, we gonna do this a million more times.
Forever,
You got
ever.
your new artist here, GOGO, who
G-Money!
GOGO Morrow, who I am absolutely a fan of.
Thank you.
Go far.
Thank
Super dope.
Go check out our EP ready when it comes out.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna
No,
be
we're
amazing.
gonna announce all the big things when it happens. We're gonna have you back, tell your story, have you do your thing. It's family. It is what it is. You're locked in. We're here for life. You're stuck with us. So just letting you know.
And the one thing I love about, one thing hip hop did very well was co-sign.
Yeah.
You know,
Tap in.
they always co-sign the next generation
Yeah.
or the next, Jay-Z said it, 3 other billionaires came from me.
Talk
And
about
I
it.
was like, God damn. passed that torch on like a mug.
That's it.
And I just feel like that's the thing we gotta do. That's another thing we gotta do in R&B is pass that torch on. So make sure the fire don't go down.
That's
you know
it.
what I mean?
That's it.
And Ronnie passed the torch on to me. I don't know. I didn't realize he was doing that.
Yeah.
But he was like, "You got it, kid." When he was like, "Figure it out. You got it."
You got it.
You know what I mean? Teddy Riley said it. "Figure it out, kid. You got it." And I was like, "Okay, I guess I got it." You know what I mean? You need that.
And you're listen. And as we figure some things out, we continue to learn and build and figure out more things, and the process never stops.
Amen to that.
As long as we love it, we will always be part of this ever learning and ever evolving thing we call music. Right?
Human nature.
Human nature. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Tank,
I'm jvalentine.
and this is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority on all things R&B, and this has been our brother, Harmony, H Money Samuel. In the building.
And go!
Go!
What up?
Go!
R&B money.